it was sort of a little too dangerous. Okay, so we are up to session number 3 of the Mandalorian campaign, where you're still learning how the game works. So David hasn't missed too much on learning how the game works. Who's filling in for Mark tonight?
Yay!
So he may end up with his own character down the track.
That's a good job.
So we'll see how much you can sit in, and if you can sit in enough, you'll get your own character.
Yeah, it's a good chance I'll be in.
Okay, so I'll get everyone else to introduce themselves, and then we'll tell David what he's in for. So first up, we have is Ross.
Yes, I am playing Khalid. Family code name is Octus. Was it Yod?
What was it?
Octus Yod. Y-O-D-H.
Well, however you pronounce it, I'm sure that's correct.
Okay.
Yoda? Y-O-D-O-H?
Yeah.
Yoda.
Yodel.
No, I
Yoda.
wouldn't have the D in
Yodel.
It'd be Yod.
Yod.
Sorry.
Y-O-D-O-H.
Yoda.
O-H or just H?
Y-O-D-H, I think.
Oh, H. Okay,
Yes.
Yod. With the H on the end.
Octus Yod.
Yoda.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I come from a clan
We
of
need to leave
armourers. Who I've
Well, it'll
now...
be family armors. You come from the same
Yeah,
clan.
yeah, family clan, yeah, with the armourers, the family of armourers, but have now gone a different path due to the fact that we can't get our favourite metal.
And most of your armor and gear was left on planet. Well,
yeah, we couldn't really bring the furnaces.
Well, remember that one of the other party members was their family was collecting your gear, and they didn't make it off planet.
Yeah,
Not pointing to anyone in particular.
So we're now starting to go on the lines of assassins.
I'm sure there's not much difference between making armor and killing people.
Yeah.
It would be rather interesting if you combined the two. Here, have some armor. They walk out the door. Okay, now I've got another set of armor to sell.
Yep. I'm not at that stage in Fifth Element to design weapons that are actually design assassination devices.
Well, they have them in many science fiction storylines. So, Stefan.
I'm playing Gatgia Sukbren, who is Kopf for short, is my code name. I'm a survivalist bounty hunter who is in it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to make lots of money where possible, and I make notes in my money book.
You do. And then we have Kesley.
I am playing Kayana Cape Weir, family code name of Noon. I am the martial artist of the group with a my oath is mostly to the clan, so I am very dedicated to our mission of trying to bring in as much money to the clan as possible.
And then we have Ariadna.
I am temporarily Icon. I still haven't found a name I'm happy with yet. Dozens have been gone through, but none of them have been.
So you are the
suitable.
member who shall not be named.
My code name is Zane. I'll just keep Icon till I can figure it out and go from there. And I am a skip tracer, bounty hunter, and ex-animal wrangler / tracker.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I am very much family oriented and more and more money for the family.
And online tonight we also have D.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. May the 4th be with you, or is it may the 5th be following you? I can't remember which one
May
it
the
is today.
4th be with you too.
It's still the May the 4th here.
With you.
Yeah, and we got Bubbles who is running around me at the moment, who's having fun. Hang on, where are you? Come here. Well, you can probably hear her, and where are we? Here she is, I hope. You can see her.
No, because we don't really
There we
share
go.
the camera because we can see the cat briefly there, but we don't show that on screen to the recording.
Very cute.
Yeah. Anyway,
Separate photos sent to us on Facebook or otherwise would be accepted.
That is
Okay.
true.
Oh, there's several somewhere. Anyway, yeah, I'm playing Vanna. She is the de facto, I don't know, head of the family here. Well, more or less.
Would like to be the head of the family.
Yeah, she would like to be head of the family, but there's people out to get her. She is the gadgeteer. And she definitely wants to see some more money coming in, so she might have to do some stuff for herself, for the family, for the group. And her code name is probably Soda, an acronym of Yoda. Go Weird Al.
Okay, so and last up we have David, who is playing Mark's character tonight, who is a ship specialist, but has a drinking problem, and apparently the more she sobers up, the worse she gets and starts to deteriorate with her skills.
What could possibly go wrong?
So what could possibly go wrong with a person operating a heavy vehicle being the person who needs to drink?
Yeah, but the other thing was if she screws up, she's dead.
Pretty much, there's
Also,
that too.
yeah, if she's caught
As
drinking,
the person who's currently actually operating a heavy vehicle, I can see no problem with this person.
And the one of the other members in the party, the assassin, has been told in front of your character that if she screws up again, you get shot. So
How much do I want to make Mark's life annoying?
that's completely up to
At
you.
the moment, we're trying to keep you alive.
So
The other thing is, he's also very persuasive to go join the Empire because they're offering free booze.
Yeah, let's.
the Empire.
Why would we go to the Empire?
Because the Empire offers free drinks to all those who sign up.
Yes, but you don't get
Exactly,
to drink after
and-
that.
Yeah,
doesn't know
the
that.
medical, the dental, come on, the booze.
But you only get the booze when you sign up, not afterwards.
Don't worry about it, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
You won't be
Yeah,
saying
you
that
can
when
use
you have your
characters
hangover.
alcoholic. I'm not entirely sure that she's looking at the long game here.
Don't alcoholics always look at the long game?
No,
Aren't they
okay.
thinking about where to get the next drink from while the first drink's in their hand?
Yeah, the next drink is straight after the first drink. If I've got a first drink, there's definitely going to be a second drink. Don't worry about it, it's fine.
I know as a coffee addict that I've got at least 4 coffees ahead planned.
That's... Anyway,
Questions for
I'll
you.
leave that for you.
What happened to the soda stream you're making for me?
Oh shit, I had a 2-second memory. Little Grogu here will play my role while I make you a soda stream.
Okay, so while she's doing that, I was asking, did anyone have a look at the Bounty Hunter
not.
character stories for their character to say which one most
think it was
represented
bad
how they
when it
wanted
comes
to
out.
play their character? Because there was the aggressive, the disgraced, the honor, the legacy, and the revenge.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I couldn't quite hear over the Grogu transfer.
There was the aggression, disgrace, honor, legacy, and revenge, all on the Bounty Hunter page.
So what are these?
These are the stories of why you chose to be a bounty hunter, put your hand up and said, yes, I'm happy to do the bounty hunting for
Did
the
we
family.
choose these already, or are
No,
they?
these were on top of what you had chosen as part of the story.
No, that was different.
So, some had chosen, some had not. So I was asking what
I was
people had
gonna
chosen
go
because
for
okay.
honor.
I hadn't broadened it down.
I think I chose
chose-
honor.
Yep. I
What
just
were
wanted to
the
make sure
what
what
were
people
they?
had chosen. So they were aggression,
Definitely choosing disgrace for Mark.
disgrace, honor, legacy, and revenge.
I think I was either honor or legacy. I'll have it written here
You
somewhere.
also considered legacy, I believe. So, Kesley, I've got down as honor. What did you choose?
I was going to go for honor.
You were going for honor as well?
I'm probably
assassin.
honor.
Though you could also do legacy along
Because
the
you-
lines
you
of
wanted
the
the
family
hunt-
line.
Hunting big animals.
And did you need me to read any of them out to you, Stefan?
I was going to find the page if possible.
Okay, so that's the Bounty Hunter page. You can get to it from
Legacy.
the Mandalorian
I chose
page.
Legacy. Thank you.
I'll add some extra stuff onto the character sheets for that. And then there was your personal motivation. Because I did ask people to look that one up because there's quite a few motivations for characters.
that went crazy when I looked at that.
So, just so you know, there are 4 distinct sets of motivations at this stage you can choose from, which is ambition, cause, code, and relationships, where code is specifically to bounty hunters. So if you wanted me to go through any of those ones, that you're also welcome. Did you choose your specific motivation of what you wanted your character to be, Ross?
No, that's what I was looking at.
Because this is on top of your motivation of teamwork with the family.
Yep.
Because at this point, Stefan's character could quite easily take greed as his primary motivation because he wants to make as much money for the family as possible.
Well, it seems appropriate, but I was going to look at them
You are welcome to look at them.
just to confirm.
Because there are roughly 40 different motivations to choose from.
Should be under the Bounty Hunter.
Between games and get back to you.
But
It was, yeah. I actually hoped people had done it between the last game and this
I
game.
didn't realise it was homework. Otherwise, I would have. I read like all the other stuff.
Yeah, I was clicking on the wrong
It's okay.
page.
It's okay. You can go. You can look at it later. I'll get you to get back to the motivation because that will determine what you get for XP. Because if you actually work towards your motivation in the game and can say how you met your motivation, you get more XP for doing so.
Is that on your blog?
It is on the blog on the character creation page. I will send you a direct link if you wish.
Oh, that's to the D&D blog.
I gone to the wrong thing.
Okay. Move to another screen. There we go. Find Facebook. I'm sure it's here somewhere.
Character creation. Yeah, was it? We had to choose 2, wasn't it?
You get to choose. You get to choose one because one's chosen for you.
Oh, okay.
Now, why can't I see you here?
Here we go.
anywhere?
Aggression, disgrace, honor, legacy.
Sorry, there we are.
Determining.
For some reason I can't actually type properly. There we go, Ariadne's got a copy and I'll send Stefan one as well.
I think I
I
might.
think I know why I might have missed it.
Yeah.
You filed the earbuds away for me. You filed away a bunch of Star Wars ones that aren't read. And so I probably never even saw them.
If you're after greed, that's an ambition.
Now, did you just send it through to text? You did.
I did, yes. Did anyone else want the link?
Yes.
Okay.
So I've got the one for character stories, but I can't see the one for.
Determining motivation, step 8.
Yep. And I'll send it to Stefan as well. And Ross has got his already.
Oh,
Could you just send it to me so I can look through it once it's done?
I shall do so now as well.
Thanks, sir.
Alright, let's have a look at this. Oh, okay, that's why. I was looking at the Bounty Hunter page, not the.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there are lots of options for people to choose what they really want to have as the core of how they want to play their character.
So we'd most likely be under code Bounty Hunter?
You're under any of the 4.
Okay.
It's what you want to roleplay for your character is what you choose, because you get bonuses based on doing that actual action during the story, which is not a bad way of doing it.
There's another one that you can do.
I'll try to
Always
remember
get
this
paid
for
if
later.
you didn't want greed.
Number 6 is spelt wrong. It's quite professional instead of quiet professionalism.
No, we're very.
Just to let you know.
Hey, my hands do have
No.
weird impulses
Not
sometimes.
criticism, it's just the constantly roaming editor.
And my brain looks at words and the words are spelled correctly.
Actually,
even
no,
if
I
it's the
think
wrong
that is
word.
actually right.
Is it?
Because then it's saying it's makes little noise.
It's quite rather than quiet. QUITE is you are quite good at this,
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
whereas QUIET is you are quiet and silent.
And I put the E in the wrong spot.
Yeah, your E's on the end. That's
It's all right. We're all dyslexic here.
No. It's, as
Okay.
I said, it's the internal editor.
So that will be what people can figure out between sessions, exactly what they want to do there, unless they can notice while they're doing stuff. So that
Has this been silent and deadly, as well as quiet professionalism?
quite possibly.
Used correctly.
Oh dear, excuse me.
Which is not a bad trait for a bounty hunter.
Just farting all the time.
I'm not seeing greed. I must be missing it.
It's up the top.
Greed is in the first section.
It's in the
Oh.
ambition.
Number
Alright,
5,
it's all
ambition.
the way. Okay, yep.
Though you could quite easily take love or freedom. You could be getting money for the purposes of helping your family free themselves, for the love of your family. You can word them in any way that you want, and that's how we'll take it. This is where you get to define what you want your own character's motivation to be outside of the campaign structure.
Yeah. So was it addiction for greed? No. I must.
So
No, it's there's
Ambition.
greed there.
Yeah. What step is that?
that is step 8, I believe.
Oh, so it was the right section. Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
see if I go.
Yeah, it's in step 8.
Step 8, determining motivation. It's one of the last parts of character creation, which is why I left it till the 3rd session to give you a chance to see
Yeah.
how you're playing your character to see if a motivation fits. Because if you start off with a motivation, very few people actually play the motivation they wanted. And this was purely player choice, so the GM was not going to force one on you except for the team building one.
That's the code.
So while you're looking, I will give a update of what they were doing in the story. So they were chosen by their clan to go to the planet Elrood and start the bounty hunting profession. The idea was to start sending money back to the clan so the clan can afford to provide medical aid, food, and slowly rebuild themselves after a few failed attempts and a lot of clan loss over the years due to some unknown enemy. The clan does have some enemy against you which has been hunting down and attacking anyone who uses your insignia or your family armor. So you've been struggling with that. Your first job here was to get a guy by the name of Varna, strangely sounding like one of your team members. No coincidence
I
whatsoever.
thought it was El Capitano.
No, this is we're doing
Oh,
the first one.
Right, okay, the very, very first one. The one that
Uh,
ended up without his pants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his name was Varna, so VV. And you managed to get a reward for returning him in with one of your characters, played by Kesley, getting noted down as the party leader as far as the bounty hunter guild was concerned.
Of which my character does not see herself as the leader, so.
But as you're the one who
But
turned
as
it
I'm the
in,
one that turned it in, they think I'm the leader.
as far as the bounty hunter guild is concerned, the most competent person is the person who turns in the bounty and is the person who they determine the leader. So currently you have more standing in the guild than the rest of the party does.
This somehow suits your sense of humour, I am sure.
It does. And you then manage to choose your second bounty out of 6. And during that bounty you found out that you're tracking down one of the local celebrities of a planet of 6 billion people. There's not one person on this planet who doesn't know this guy's name.
We're so lucky.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got an idea of how to fix it.
This is good news.
Yes, we basically...
No collateral damage.
No. It's basically we get the governor to revoke the bounty.
How do we do that, though?
We need to get in touch with the
Yeah.
governor and find out if he actually did put
Well,
the
our plans
bounty.
is to interview the governor this game, so yeah.
And so in the last session, you had managed to track down enough information to find the Darovian PR representative for the company that El Capitano, your target, was working for.
Which we suspect is El Capitano.
Which you suspect is El Capitano, yes. Or the person who writes El Capitano speeches.
Yes, well, the real voice behind El Capitano. If not El Capitano himself.
Well, the Darovian himself would never cut it as a celebrity on this planet.
No.
So he would be the brains while we're looking for the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And technically, if we turn in the face, but not the brains,
Then El Capitan, his ideas live on.
Yeah.
And you did have a sit-down meeting with him, eating a meal worth more than a starship
10,000 credits.
Each.
So about 30,000
That's
credits.
just the three of us, though.
Yeah. So about 30,000 credits is enough to buy a starship in some places.
Yeah, I kind of wish he'd given us the credits. We could do with a ship.
And he gave you lots of hints,
We can get off this
basically
godforsaken planet
saying
and get
that
more money.
saying that the Empire is actually involved in this mission.
Okay.
Right, okay.
He didn't say how or why, but he did warn you away from advertising any anti-imperial sentiment relating to this.
Okay.
We've really got to get off this planet.
Yeah, we do.
Not sure. I can't choose between two of them.
And then you guys had returned and were resting for the night to figure out what you were going to do next.
Yes, I do believe our plans were to try and use our press qualifications to interview the governor.
And
I
you did also pay for barracks near the starport.
Yep.
So
Yes.
you managed to actually have decent accommodation. And in the morning when you guys wake up, you hear on the news that the governor had announced a reform to stop terrorism on the planet, which was starting within the week of no one but their security forces able to wear armor. That weapons would be restricted to bladed weapons no longer than 10 centimeters and no range weapons at all without permit.
You tricky bastard.
Do they have licenses
I hope
for
you took
us?
that in the way it was meant.
That they do have licenses, and there is a notice that you can get a license, but licenses are restricted to personnel who need it, which will be determined at the starport. So unless you're a citizen, if you're a citizen, then you need to go to the local security depot and ask there. So Stefan, you might want to put the outside light on.
Oh, yeah.
Just hit switches until it works.
So Google doesn't like outside switch.
Oh,
Light?
it does, but then I try not to say it over recording.
Yeah. I'll probably take expertise,
Mhm.
but I'll confirm with you.
Yep. And so you're you see that there's this big press conference where the governor is doing this, and he basically is putting in a buyback scheme for people who wish to sell off their armor for a tenth of the or weapons for a tenth of their price. Because at the end of the week, which is 8 days here, it will then be deemed illegal.
So basically what I'm hearing is we need to get off this planet in a week.
Finish this bounty and get off the planet.
Because we aren't going to survive here if we can't wear armour and use weapons.
Well, there's a difference between heavy clothing and riot gear.
I'm
Well, I've
currently
got
running around road.
My armour,
If you've got the heavy clothing, the heavy clothing does not look like armor.
I'm not sure if my armour... I just know that I bought armour. Does that armour that I bought...
Padded's
The
right gear.
The padded is riot gear. So it's imagine you look like the SWAT, as you're walking around town.
Sorry, I know. I bought padded armor. I don't know if the description falls under riot gear or.
It's basically obvious that it's armor.
Okay, so I can't wear that.
In a week's time.
Yeah, so I've got to store it and carry it around in a bag, basically. Is there anything illegal against doing that?
The checkpoints basically consider it illegal.
So if I put it in a bag and then get on a starship to leave the planet, if they find my armor in that bag, they'll take it off me?
Less leaving the planet, more coming onto the planet.
Okay, alright.
We also have a couple of us have blasters that we have to get rid of.
Or get permits for.
Or get permits. If they give us permit.
And amusingly, the Imperial Bounty Hunter's license is one of the few things that is a guaranteed access to a permit.
There we go.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't cover the armour.
Because they've actually deemed security forces the only people allowed to do it, or Imperial servicemen. So they are limiting it to security forces. It does mean that they now have a reason to detain people and give them warnings for the week leading up to the changeover.
Yeah. So it means that.
And this was announced as part of Emperor Day,
Yay.
of making the galaxy more secure for the people.
I wonder how that's going.
And in a side note on there, there is a picture of El Capitano having dinner with the Imperial Admiral who was at a party the night before.
El Capitano, person who has the bounty out on him, is having dinner with an Imperial person in the same place we were interviewing the Derovian, but we didn't see him.
You were shuffled in and out.
Okay. So, this might be an indication that El Capitano is with the Imperials,
Yeah.
which is going to be a problem.
And it was noted down that it was his first public appearance since his building collapsed.
So, it's a confirmed appearance of El Capitano. We know that it's definitely him. And that he's alive.
He showed up at midnight.
Okay. That's not so good.
It gives another reason why we should get the governor to drop the bounty.
Well, you do have the Admiral's number. He did give you his card.
The Admiral gave me his card.
I believe he did. You were in the bar chatting him up.
He did.
Yeah, he did. So this is the same admiral that was recruiting that I went over and
Talk to.
drank and was polite to, and okay. So we could do that, but I'm still not quite sure how we'll get El Capitano out of this. So say I contact him and he agrees to meet with us. What approach do we take to saying we would like to meet with El Capitano and run off with him?
No, it's not that. It's probably to say to prevent a public uprising that would probably be the death of maybe thousands or maybe millions of people due to the fact that if this public person who's now showing support for the Empire gets arrested, basically this port will be in chaos.
You're saying to do that with the governor, though?
I'm also doing that. Suggesting we're doing that with the governor because it's politically suicidal if he tries to get. It's now even confirmed that he actually would be politically suicidal because it now will be showing that he's going against the Empire as well.
Well, we've got two options. We can contact the governor and try and talk him out of revoking the bounty, in which case then we could go to the Admiral and go, hey, look what we did! And you know, maybe get credit for that, because they're obviously...
Honestly, I don't think we're going to get paid for this one.
No. We'll get, like, reputational credit, you know. We'll get networking credit with the Imperials, because we did something good for them.
That won't put food on the plate and beds to sleep in.
Yeah, but this might put food on the plates and beds to sleep in later, because we're not getting money out of this already. And who knows, he may give us a tip just for...
Well, we did get food on the plate last night.
Well, some of us did.
But someone did.
And it was
Um,
nice.
But if we approach the Admiral, we've got to have a plan about what we're going to do.
I reckon the Admiral will be the second option if the first option does not work.
Yeah, I think that should be our backup. The Admiral has got no reason to hand El Capitano over right now.
Well, the other thing is, he's also got the Imperial Security Service, which is a lot better funded than we are.
Imperial security breach.
Okay, so are we agreed we'll try the Governor first?
Sorry about that, folks. I'm back.
So if we're going to try the government first, then I will use my press credentials to try and contact the governor.
Okay.
I am so unsure about this.
You make a call through to the governor's mansion. You get a bureaucrat on the line who is asking for your press ID.
I give him the one I got with my fake press credentials and
He says,
cross my fingers and
Well,
my
we did pay
ankles.
for it,
And
and it only is a startup one, so.
he's checking it, and
I do mention we're a startup one. We may not be in the system yet.
he says, "Well, if you
But I also mentioned we got the high profile interview recently.
in which case, then you are now doing a negotiation with him. So give me a deception roll as you're going to."
Could someone else roll for me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so what is your character's
Do you
cunning?
My character's cunning.
it's presence, isn't it?
I got
Or is it
presence
deception?
and
Deception.
willpower.
So your cunning is
Two.
You
Yeah.
get 2 dice. Do you actually have deception as a skill?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do you want to upgrade it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Starts off with that. You want to upgrade it. We
It's
replace
pretty
one of
important.
the green with that. And that reduces your number of points and increases mine.
We didn't have enough money because that'll also give us a blue dice. He has some money.
Okay, so...
I don't know what any of that is.
That looks nasty.
Okay, so
That looks like
you
nothing.
get a message from the person saying your message has been put into the queue and we'll get back to you by your corporate office in the next week or two.
Who has cunning?
Me.
And then they end up
We got
hanging up on you.
Baldricky.
Can you try calling them again?
Would they just tell us to bugger off?
You're a different person. You're a different voice.
Yeah, but I'm going to be using our credentials on the thingy team.
We might get a different person.
It's
Unless
either that or
Yeah.
you could try to contact your Devrock friend.
Devronian.
Devronian friend. Seeing if he's got
Well, we
able
could try
to give us
that.
some suggestions on how to contact the governor to try to avoid
I could ask him if
a
I could tell him.
potential riot, which is going to happen soon.
All right, I see if I can get through the the guy.
Okay, so yes, after getting calling the number, you see his face appearing all nice and smiling on the screen of the terminal in your barracks,
Yep.
and he says, "Oh, Icon, nice to see you again. Did you enjoy the meal?"
Immensely. It was such a great pleasure to talk to you last evening.
Well, I got good news for you. I've met El Capitano. He says he's doing well.
Oh, this is excellent news. We were very concerned for his safety. Indeed, we were trying to get in contact with the governor to talk
That might be your
about
food.
talk about some of the issues that are going on, and unfortunately, they don't think that I warrant any time with them, unfortunately. But it would have been nice to have seen whether or not I could have done anything to assist in his current situation.
Yes, the governor has his own press people, and he even ignores my calls.
Oh, really? Well, that's
It takes me about 1 to 2 months to get any sort of response out of that.
Wow, that's very very good to it's very good to find out.
Apparently, he only likes natives.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I guess he's got good reason for that. I guess I would probably
Cough,
be
racist.
cough. Yeah, I know. Is
Planetist, wouldn't it?
Well, if El Capitano is doing very well at the moment, I have some contacts that I could try to improve his situation.
Well, he says he's currently under Imperial protection.
Yeah, I have a feeling that was the case based on the news article I saw today with him with an admiral that I've come to know. I'm just not sure that perhaps maybe that is the best place for him. You know, ideologically.
Ideologically, it's the safest place for him right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess looked at from a certain perspective, that could be true.
The other way we could go is for the governor, an advisor to the governor.
What do you mean?
Well, if we can't go to the governor himself, we probably might get to somebody who's got a voice to the governor.
Okay.
So an advisor.
But we're trying to get this bounty revoked,
And on the other
right?
side of the screen, the Devaronian says, I used to have the ear of the governor, but that was before he didn't like talking to people.
Do you happen to know if there was
Because
anything...
you're still in the phone call with
Yeah,
him.
I know.
Do you happen to know if there was any particular thing that changed the governor's attitude?
Yes. Apparently, the Empire told him they were coming in to help clean up his sector.
Right. So he might be playing things closer to his chest for that reason, I guess?
He's not kept any counsel with any of the representatives of the city since then.
Well, that's unfortunate because some of the representatives of the city are also looking out for the best thing for the city and for its inhabitants. It'd be good to be able to try and get in contact with him, but we may have to try alternative means and see how we go from there.
Just trying out abduction. That didn't work out so well for the last group.
Yeah, no, I
Last group.
Yeah, another group of bounty hunters tried to abduct him to have a sit down with him.
The governor?
Yeah.
Oh no, we were hoping to just have an interview with him. You know, if we could
Okay, I'm going to look that up.
if we could just get a few moments of his time. We were just planning on speaking with him. But yeah,
He's a senator and a sector governor, so it's very hard to get any time with him without having any real backing.
Okay. What sort of backing? Imperial's backing might help?
The Imperial Admiral would probably be able to get you in as one of the few people he knows.
That's a really good idea. This is very valuable.
Very few
I
people
really
will say
appreciate
no
your
to
time.
the Imperial Governor, to an Imperial Admiral.
That is very helpful to know. I thank him very much for his time and tell him I really appreciate his guidance. And break off the...
And he says that the website you started up, that definitely doesn't look worth the effort. You might want to pull that down.
Yeah, I will advise our website creator that perhaps maybe a little bit more work should be put into that. We are pretty new.
You might want to start with at least an article when you start it up next time.
Yeah. I'll make sure that we get onto that as well. Thank you so much for that feedback. That's going to be very helpful in our endeavours.
Yes, and a bio of all your members would also help.
Yep. Yes.
So something that can be traced.
Yes. Yeah. No disagreements there. That's something we'll get on top of straight away.
Okay. He says, have a good day and keep listening.
Yes, definitely we will. Okay, thank you. Who's got intellect again?
Well, like who's got
Me.
computer use?
Well, I'm looking for intellect, which is Vanya. I have a little conversation with Vanya about our conversation, which I presume she overheard, and suggest that we quickly get an article up, or two, and that we put up some bios for our press
News service.
and that we definitely put a little bit more professionalism and polish on the website.
Probably take you a couple of hours to do each bio and all that sort of thing. 'Cause you also got to set up an actual backstory for things.
Well, yeah, to set up all the tracing and stuff like that. Yes. While she's doing that, I will contact the Admiral since I'm on the phone.
And I'm going to check about this failed attempt of kidnapping the...
So I might have you do that first.
Okay.
It's not that hard to find. It's basically a group of bounty hunters had decided that they didn't want to wait for seeing the governor, and had arranged to encounter him away from his security. Apparently, about all they got out was, I want a moment of your time, before they were gunned down by weapon emplacements and other things that had detected the weapons on them as they had snuck into the governor's mansion.
Okay, we can deal with that.
And so it was a group of 4 hunters who basically are now no longer competing against you. And that happened it did happen about a month ago. And there were apparently 4 jobs into getting their accreditation.
Gotcha.
And the Bounty Hunter Guild says this is why they weren't accredited bounty hunters.
Okay, fair enough.
But that means sneaking in is a possibility. Sneaking out is another matter entirely.
No, well, if you're going to sneak in, don't have any weapons or armour.
Yeah.
And just have a pen with a notepad saying we want your order.
The pen must be shorter than 10 centimeters.
But it did warn you that there are hidden weapon emplacements all over the place, and if someone hits a panic switch.
So Dee was asking if we could try being the protection of El Capitano, like the personal protection. That's a good idea to try. So certainly when we talk to the Admiral, we might see whether or not we could.
The only problem with that is you don't have security services as your business.
Can we add to our website?
Media and security services.
We could be public relations and security.
That could be something.
They do go together.
That does.
I suppose that you could be the face of.
We know
of
what
it.
not to spend.
Yeah, we know what not to spin, and because we're spinning for you, we know how to protect you from.
If you're going to do that, you might as well just make another corporation up altogether. Don't use the same.
And put the other 3 characters into that one. Yeah, you're the security detail.
Yeah, because they're the ones with the knowledge.
I don't think we have money
Our overlying story could be that we need the security detail because we meet important people, and we want to make sure those important people are kept safe. But yeah, I don't know that it's going to fly.
I don't think so.
Okay, so
No.
should I start rolling?
Just let's keep on with
I
the
don't think
press
we've got
one.
the money for it.
Yeah, we don't really have the money for that, and I think we'll be dividing our resources too much. At the moment, there's only 6 of us, and 3 of us are barely making it as press professionals, and it's only because the other 3 are supporting us. And if we lose the support of those other 3, we're kind of screwed.
Okay, so would it be wise if I went to spaceport and I don't know, see if I can get a part-time job there?
Yeah, you could. We could finally get Piper to get recruited.
Oh no.
Get recruited as what?
As a security detail. Very drunk one. Okay.
Well, I'm thinking, well, in my mind's eye, I've got Piper down as, like Rick Hunter. from the country.
Possibly go.
Many things could go wrong with that.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's just go with the press thing and the public relations. Because press and public relations do go together. We'll see whether or not the Admiral will at least allow us an interview with El Capitano. And at least try to talk to him that way. or whether or not the Admiral will get us an interview with the Governor so that we can get the bounty revoked. Actually, that might be a way to approach it. We could say we've become aware that there might be other interests there, and we're trying to talk to the Governor.
This will also disable the entire region, so it's bloody political suicide to go ahead with it.
So, yeah, I think the original plan to meet up with the Governor
most bounties are
using the
unadvertised.
Admiral will work.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, if you get brought in...
Yeah, I think the least risky situation is to say, hey, we're a press company, we're trying to get in contact with the Governor. He's kind of turned us down. We're a new company. You seemed like a nice guy. I don't suppose you could get us a foot in the door. And at least then we can talk to the Governor and maybe get him to revoke his bounty, which leaves us with no money, but also leaves us...
Well, it leaves us with no money, but it leaves us also able to choose another bounty.
Yeah, it allows us to choose another bounty. It, you know, at this stage we're up against, like, all of the Imperials.
No, not really. We're not
Weren't
up
they the
against
ones who
all
gave
the
us this
Imperium.
bounty in the first place?
No, we don't
No,
know.
we got that from the Bounty Hunters
It's stated
Guild.
that it came from the Governor's, but it may not have come from the Governor.
And in all honesty, if they're banning weapons and armour, we really want off this planet. And if we want to get off this planet, we really need to finish off the bounty so that it doesn't ruin our reputation. And either change cities or change planets.
In that case,
I was
you
gonna
probably
say,
also
isn't the
want to
gov-
speak to the Admiral
I think-
about it as well. That's one way of
Yeah, we
getting
might
off.
speak to the Admiral about getting permission to wear... Oh no, that'd blow our press cover.
No, you just do it. Just go in
All right.
there, hands open, saying, "Yep, this is what's happening."
Let's start with the Admiral.
Okay.
See if he'll
So
even
did-
give us 5
no.
seconds of his time.
So, are we actually going to go in and saying, "Yep, this is happening"?
I'm going to go in saying I'm trying to get an interview with the Governor.
Are we calling or going in?
I'm going to call him and see if he'll
Welcome to
He'll-
Imperial Network
talk
News.
to me. And then we'll say whether or not we can... Well, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to try and get off the planet regardless of whether or not the bounty's filled? Or do you want to try and get the bounty revoked so that we don't damage our
Do we
reputation?
have to start from scratch again?
If you leave the planet, yes.
Yeah. But
Well,
we've
we've
only
already
done
done
one
one.
bounty, so if we're going to start from...
But the problem is, this is where your family will be sending resources and people.
I think if we're gonna
we
stay
need to
here-
tell them that there's that actually the political climate has changed.
I think if we stay here, because there's other problems, we can't afford a ship off right now. So we need to get those 8 bounties. So this bounty looks like it's too big a job for us. We're in over our heads. And that's okay. We'll not be in over our heads when we've got more resources, more times. But if we can get it revoked for now, then we can move on to other bounties that are easier. And, you know, gather up some money and some
Well,
resources.
Yeah, basically doesn't step on so much political trauma.
Well, because right now we're about to be squashed and there'll be no money for family if that's going to happen. So, try and get the bounty revoked? Question?
That's about the...
What do you guys think?
I think we've already thrown so much
Into the...
into this. We need to get something out of it.
Have you considered abandoning all of this, joining the Empire, and getting free booze?
I am now!
Piper's
Yeah.
logic is getting better and better for people.
No,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's...
Everything would be so much easier.
No, it's not. I'll be betraying the family.
Alright. Suggestions
So
from...
would you be betraying booze?
I think we need to
What?
talk to the Admiral.
Would you be betraying booze?
Talk to the
Who
Admiral,
cares
but
about
with what
bloody
goal?
booze? I've got a hit flask. I'm fine.
To meet with the Governor, or
To meet
to...
with El Capitan.
Or to meet with El Capitano, or both.
Yeah, but probably what Piper doesn't know, it's non-alcoholic beer.
Because if we are trying to talk to El Capitan, that's with the intention of bringing him for the bounty. If we talk to the Governor, it's with the intention of getting the bounty revoked. So it's...
See,
hard.
I have... So, you're looking at the risks here. If we go to the Admiral and use him as a contact to get to El Capitano and turn El Capitano in, we've just made an enemy. And it's an Imperial enemy. In a city that we have to survive in for 8 more bounties, that's Imperial ruled. But if we
It's
go
not
to
current-
the
No, it's not
Admiral,
really.
get an interview with the Governor and get this revoked, yes, we technically lose money right now because we have invested in it, but we've figured out but we've made a friend with the Admiral in an Imperial-based thing. We've done him a favour.
It's not Imperial-based yet.
No.
But we're getting there.
Yes, it's still not Imperial-based. So.
Okay.
So
It's currently Imperial friendly.
To be honest, I'm happy for anyone else but me to make this decision.
I don't really care.
But last time I left that up to you guys, you picked El Capitano.
Yep.
Okay, Varna looks up from a data
wanted
pad
to
and
go for
goes,
the ship.
I'm sorry, I'm
I
a bit
wanted to
busy
go for
here.
the ship.
Okay, so Varna's left it in everyone else's pile,
Okay.
and Piper's piped up. Joining the Empire is a good idea.
Okay. So, minusing those two, we know what you think.
I don't think it's a bad thing if you make an enemy.
Out of Imperials.
Well, they're the ones who cause our issues in the first place.
No, it was a bloody
We
light,
need to-
it's light saber wielding red guy.
As if he didn't have some kind of support to pull it off. You think the Jedi gave him a hand?
Well,
No,
he's
did.
reputed as being a Jedi. A
So-
Jedi
well,
terrorist.
You
Someone
seem the most
helped him.
reasonable person.
It was either the Imperium and it probably wasn't the Rebels.
It was before the Empire
That's a
existed.
hard
Yeah, this
thing
was
to
during
do.
the Clone Wars.
It
Well,
is.
then-
So basically, as far as they're concerned,
The
it
Empire
was
didn't exist.
a Jedi terrorist who did most of the problems to your family.
Okay.
So that's why they hate the Jedi.
I think having
So if
the
the Imperials
Imperials owe us a favour or feeling favourable about us is not a bad thing if we have to survive here. I know they aren't in rule yet, but let's be honest, it could be just a matter of time. If we get
Technically, if we turn in El Capitan, we will be on the good side of the Imperials, because their whole point is they want to cause discourse for the governor so that they can install their own governor.
We know that.
I'm taking you with me to see the Admiral.
No, the thing is, that's what we already assumed,
So
that
they
the
can
Imperials...
punch them in the face?
Alright. I'm going to call the Admiral and see if he'll give us 5 minutes of his time. Or,
Okay, you managed to
No.
get
Have lunch or
a
something.
familiar face on the phone. Lieutenant Sandino appears on there. Hey. So it's not the. It's the guy who's doing the investigation.
Yeah, the forensics guy. I asked whether or not it's possible to how I'd go about organising a meeting with the Admiral.
Well, considering you guys were at the place of his investigation, he's happy for you guys to come into the office we have near the starport. And as long as you're happy to answer some questions, you can get any questions you want answered.
Absolutely. I'm definitely taking Kayana.
He says, okay, so you and your group are flagged for entry, so don't
Expect
mind.
to see us soon.
Don't mind the security, because apparently anti-empire sentiment is going around the Starport at the moment.
Can't understand why that would happen.
Neither can I, he says.
I just don't get it.
Yep.
I can't see what problems they'd have with this situation.
Yep.
All right. I thank him.
The other thing that I just remembered, you can't go as
You have to go as
you have to go as bounty hunters, because you're already registered with the Empire.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
So you can't go as interviewers.
Yeah, but that's okay. I can tell him I do 2 jobs.
And we can all come along.
And when the Admiral saw me, I was dressed as a bounty hunter. The only person who sees me as a press person is a Derovian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
he's
he
not
said we're all cleared, so all 6 of us can go.
Yeah. So, come on, guys. How drunk or not drunk is Piper?
Currently not drunk.
Can you walk?
Yes, he's sulking.
Well, if Piper can walk, I promised Piper a sip of something to get her going along the way.
Piper is now definitely in.
All right. I don't tell her what that something is or whether it's alcoholic, but I just infer it could be.
For a chance, she's in.
Speaking of inferring, you realise we're walking into an interrogation right now.
Absolutely.
This is not a good thing.
No.
No, but, you know,
Actually, no, good.
we don't have a lot of choices.
No, well, it's more of going to be a verbal talking. It's not going to be a full-blown interrogation, because we actually haven't done anything
They're
wrong.
Imperials. They like to, pretend to say nice things and slap you around.
Oh no, you know, if we make friends with them,
As long as they keep the
if
door
we seem
open.
like we're useful
Well,
to them,
The
then
plus,
you know they won't burn their bridges too quickly.
Well, the plus side.
Yeah, but the way
is,
they worded it was very specific,
Yeah.
you know.
They want to ask us some questions, so we'll
Yes,
answer those
ask
questions.
us some questions, which
Yes.
is also known as an interrogation. And don't mind the security group, which means
Do you
we
wanna
will
stay
take you in by
behind?
force.
I think he
No, I
wants.
just think you shouldn't have said yes so quickly.
Would you have liked me to have taken 10 minutes to give the same answer I would have given straight away?
No, I think I would have preferred we talked about it first, but there you go.
We did talk about it first.
Yeah, we could have, called him, said, hang on, we've got something, call you back in 10 minutes, discussed it, and then decide.
That's called fucking people around, and they don't like that.
Yeah.
They're Imperials, they're used to it.
Just because they're used to it
No,
doesn't
it-
mean you
it-
should treat them
Okay,
that way.
it depends on if he's a bureaucrat or
This guy
if
was
he's
nice to
actually
us, he helped us.
Or actually,
Yes.
he's more of a face person. So
Imperials are only nice to you until they get what they want.
Yeah, and we'll be nice to them until we get what we want, and we can be nasty too when we want to.
They have a starship. Where's yours?
Hopefully I'll have one soon, but until then, I've always got the option to kick them in the nuts and
I'm
run.
quite surprised you didn't point saying that one up there, that's theirs currently. That will be mine soon.
Wait a minute, can you activate that lightsaber by remote yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So your entire backup plan is kicking them in the nuts and running.
No, that
If
is
that's
not
the
my
case, I'm
backup
staying
plan.
home.
Right now, my
I'm
plan
going to
is
Rochambeau you.
diplomacy, which unfortunately is not my forte, but I've got to use, and thank God I've got enough presence to hopefully pull it off. And if not, we're just going to have to play it by ear, like we always do.
Alright. May
Do
I
I smell testosterone in this room?
Seeing as they didn't request all of us be there, may I recommend at least one of us don't go there in case we end up
Would you like to stay behind?
Yes.
I asked you that a few seconds
Yeah.
ago, and you said no, so...
I was still deciding to see where your
Cunning
interests
plan went.
lie.
My
And your
interests-
backup plan concerned me.
My interests lie in getting this bounty and getting money for the family, and in the fact that we don't have many options.
I'm
Do you
aware.
have another suggestion for how we can achieve this goal?
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm disagreeing with the fact that your options don't have backup options.
No, my options do have backup options. It's just that we haven't had a chance to discuss them yet.
We just did. You want to kick them in the nuts and run away. That's not a
No!
backup.
That's also called assault of an Imperial officer, which will probably land you in...
Exactly. So I'm
Prison?
sitting here.
I
You can
was
go kick them in the nuts.
joking, you twits!
The Imperials don't joke.
My actual backup plan is that we don't all go. That some of us stay behind in case something goes wrong.
Okay.
So you're the backup plan now.
your plan B.
I was going to
Apparently.
say I will definitely be bringing Kayana with me,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to ask for one other person to come with me,
I will.
and then the other three can stay behind as backup, so that if something goes wrong, then we can do things. And since you're
Okay,
the
keep
one
your comms
staying
on
behind,
transmit.
Piper can stay with you.
That's fine.
Keep
Not
your
unusual.
comm on transmit so we can hear every word, but as soon as they go dark...
Which is probably
Well-
as soon as we enter in the Imperial base.
Yeah, it's probably going to dark as soon as we enter the Imperial base.
We can try.
Okay, so you walk across the starport because their offices are next to the starport.
Awesome.
Okay. Can I go along as well to the starport? But to the starport.
You're already in the starport
Oh, right, okay, I'm already...
We're in the barracks on the starport,
because
aren't we?
you got accommodation at the starport because you could all have one room,
Yeah.
Oh, right.
and it actually had communications and power.
Right, so are you guys staying in the barracks, or are you going to set up somewhere in the starport?
I'm gonna see if I can get like a small part-time job in there just to bring some money in.
Okay, so
You're looking for work?
You're looking for work while we're going off to see the Admiral. Piper and Kadkia are gonna stay at the hotel.
Sure.
Where are you setting up to be our backup?
At the hotel.
You want me to do all your thinking
Yeah.
for you, do you then? You want me to have all the backup plans, you want me to make all the decisions,
No.
and then you want to criticise me from your chair there?
No.
Because
I'll
it
just be
certainly
here.
seems like that.
Making sure Piper's okay.
Piper does.
So you're not going to back us up at all then?
I have comms.
So what's your plan to help back us up then?
Get your ass out of there when your ass gets stuck there.
That's it. That's what you've got planned. That's very much along the lines of my kick him in the nuts and run.
No, because I would be stuck behind Imperial bars.
Would you like to stand outside of the area?
You don't think you want to be closer?
Not really. We're close enough to the start of the Imperials, thanks.
Would this also be the same sort of place that one would potentially enlist into the Empire?
Yes.
Yes.
Piper's got a great plan to be near.
Right.
Oh,
Since
as
you're
long
with
as you
Piper, you can negotiate with Piper where you're actually going to set
don't
up.
sign anything.
That's
just try to stall as long as possible.
Remember,
Remember,
Yeah,
if you stall as long
pirates.
as possible, the drinks will be longer. As
Since-
soon as you sign,
Yeah,
the drinks
pirates-
stop.
since Vanya's getting a job, perhaps Piper wants one as a bartender.
Oh, God.
Bartender, don't be ridiculous.
No,
Don't let
just
the
the
drink
drinks
on the
first
top.
there.
Alright, no. Alright, I'm being serious now. Alright, so you guys are staying at the barracks then?
Piper wants to.
Okay, so the
Vanna will also have her comms ready, just in case.
okay, so two of you stay back at the barracks. One of you goes off looking for work, and three of you head off to the Imperial building.
Yep.
Excellent. As soon as they head off, I'm going to the Sabak then.
The
You
where?
have to go gambling. Gambling, you're in.
So you're not backing us up at all?
I'm making money.
You're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, we're eating.
Piper's jaw drops and then goes back to her original plan.
Oh.
Okay, so we go 4 different directions.
Except Piper's shadowing us.
Okay, so you guys show up at the office. They have the recruitment center off to the side,
Right.
with this nice little display and all these posters.
Thank God Piper's not here.
They have a familiar face.
She's at a
in-
Sabak table.
Piper is.
Right next to all the alcohol.
So I just changed.
No, that's not where. That's
No,
not where
Piper's-
Piper is at
Piper's
all.
gone to recruitment.
Where's Piper going?
Yeah, Piper's essentially gone in the same direction as you guys to recruitment to pretend like.
Could someone
She-
please grab a hold of Piper before Piper gets recruited into the Imperials?
No, I've told her.
No.
She's not gonna-
Look, it's fine. It's not Mark playing Piper. It's David playing Piper.
Alright.
He's only in for the
I'm
booze. He's
not
gonna
going to
get
tie up
and family.
Piper this time.
Alright.
Okay, so yes,
I've got questions.
you do see in the window the likeness of new recruits who have joined the Empire, and one of them was the bounty you picked up the day before.
Interesting.
Nerds.
So the guy you got
Did
from
we ever get to search his pockets for money?
He didn't
You
have
never
any
found his
pockets.
He had nothing.
Oh, okay.
All we got was his blaster pistol, which then we had to hand in because it was a murder weapon. Because he shot an alien.
Okay.
Okay.
You're no help to me at all, you know this.
And you see that there are 2 stormtroopers outside the main doors to the building.
I inform him that we're a small party to see the Lieutenant Sandia.
He asks for your ID.
I show him my bounty hunter's license.
He scans it and says you're free to go in, and he looks at the next person.
Okay, is that all 3 of us?
Yeah,
or
no,
Kesley
no,
and...
we all have to scan in.
Okay, alright, so we...
This
Heading?
is probably the tightest security you've seen on the planet so
Okay.
far.
So do we...
And once you get in, you find yourself each in a booth where they're doing a weapon scan.
Okay, I purposely did not bring weapons with me. I'm
before the weapon scan, I'm putting out. Yep.
Well, in the weapon scanner is where they actually take out your weapons.
Okay, well, I'm taking them out before they need.
I
don't do
figure
the
I'm
weapons.
heading into an imperialist interrogation. I don't
Yeah,
want them to use stuff.
No, it's not that part. It's going to and from the Imperial thing that you have to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah, I figure I've got martial arts and other stuff like that. And what kind of bounty hunter am I if I can't at least fight my way out of a situation without a weapon?
Someone who's better than you.
Well, I'm an animal wrangler. I'm used to wrangling animals. I'm fairly sure I can handle humans.
Okay, so as you step through, you're greeted by Lieutenant Sandino. Sandimo, and he gives you each a visitor lanyard.
They're pink.
They are. They are. Well, actually, they're more orange. They stand out very much so. So it's not like anyone will think of you as a Imperial while you're wearing it.
Yeah, it's okay. Why are you here? Where's your escort?
And he says, "Follow me," as he walks deeper into the building.
I keep track of how many left turns, right turns.
He goes straight down the middle to an elevator and calls an elevator.
Okay.
You find yourself going up about 4 floors, and then out into what appears to be a conference room.
Cool.
And he gestures to some seats off to the side. He says, "If you sit there and wait until called, he would be happy."
Okay. Thank you, Lieutenant.
And you can see that there are a lot of officers in this room. He seems to be the lowest peg on the rank. The person who has to go and get the visitors. Then he sees him head back out again, and he seems to be bringing other people up every 5 minutes.
Okay.
And you can see that they have a big holo display in the center that's currently turned off. The Admiral's aides are currently here doing weapon sweeps and scanning for communication and technology. It's not supposed to be here. If any of you have your comms on, they stop in front of you and look down at you.
Oh, they would have picked up as soon as we walked in.
Well, they were scanning the whole room, so they basically do a scan round.
Yeah.
They don't always pick up.
Oh no, when we did the weapon scan, wouldn't they have picked it up through that?
They didn't care at that point.
Lazy.
No, it's not what they were looking for. Basically, anyone with an opens comm channel is something they can tap into.
Okay.
So basically, they can know the 2 points of where the comm is. Technology works that well. So, they ask if you could turn off your recording, your communications devices during the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
They scan you again to make sure it's all off.
Yep.
And not long after that, the Admiral walks into the room and takes a seat at the head of the table and tells them to begin. And you find yourself going through what appears to be a crime scene investigation into the theft of the vehicles.
The mining vehicles?
The mining vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
which has been attributed to Governor's aide. I actually have footage of him breaking into the Imperial mining facility.
Who?
The Governor's aide.
The Governor's aide. Okay.
Okay.
And hacking into the systems and driving the vehicles by remote. The footage has not actually been released to the public. And at this stage, only because of the Imperial cameras, which aren't always obvious, did they not know that they were being filmed at the time. Because normally there are no cameras in that hangar. Then they also walk through a setup of a bunch of security forces who were reprimanded for not following the governor's directions. Were the ones assigned for crowd control at the media center.
Sorry, so these people were supposed to stop
the protest.
The protest, and they didn't stop the protest?
Every security force member assigned to it had been reprimanded for not following the governor's directions at various points.
Okay.
Due to believing it was excessive force.
Okay, alright. So the governor wanted excessive force used?
No, he had assigned all the people who had refused his directives to be the security detail stopping the riot.
Okay.
And protest.
Okay.
They had all been picked out to be allocated to that location.
As a reprimand?
No. there was no reprimand involved.
Oh.
They had been allocated to a location that went boom.
They were
Yeah.
And they
being
all died.
assassinated.
So he basically organised for the murdering of the people who weren't following his orders.
As far as I can tell, yes. This
Okay.
is them doing a presentation to the Emperor.
Okay, yep. I'm just trying to make sure I'm clear on what information goes where, because I do have pain brain, although
It's
it's
okay.
settling.
And so they're walking through this whole process there. And then they're also noting down that the events that led up to it were relating to El Capitano having disagreements with the governor's approach to planetary security, and basically saying he's acting in a more fascist regime of curtailing people's rights in the voice of safety. Even though these are the things that have been accused of being anti-imperial sentiment. So El Capitano has actually been speaking out against the governor when taken in context, except for the little whites you've been able to receive, which make it sound like he's speaking out against the Empire.
Sorry. We're all
That's
writing furiously.
And then it goes on to a assassination plot where some guild members of the local bounty hunters guild were assigned to take him out, but had failed.
Yep. Yeah, we heard about that one.
And that led back to the governor's aid as well. And all their notes on the reallocation of security forces also leads back to the governor's aid. They do note that there's no proof the governor himself was involved in any of these situations. Just that everything points to the governor's aid.
So either the aid is doing it, or is it going to be subdued?
The next thing that they go through is various bounties that have been put out in the last 2 days. A few of them seem politically motivated.
Is the aid responsible for putting out these bounties?
The aide is the person who does everything in the name of the governor. So nothing passes to the governor without going through the aide.
So if the who would be the next person in line if the governor no longer was the governor?
At this stage, there's no strong contender.
The aide put his name on? So the aide's not capable of
The
trying
aide
to take over the governor's position?
The aide has no political backing. But the aide did work for the previous governor.
Was the previous governor friendly to Imperium?
The previous governor apparently died under mysterious circumstances.
I was probably assassinated.
Yeah.
But there was rumour that the previous governor was in the middle of looking for another aide.
No.
Hmm.
It's probably in it together, because the aide couldn't get away with doing all that without the governor knowing something. But the aide probably made room for the governor so that he likes to work from behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Deveronian. Is it
Okay.
Davaronian or Davronian?
I can't tell you right off the top of my head
Okay,
now.
yeah.
Okay, so,
Um,
yep,
the guy you met with and had dinner was a Deveronian,
yep.
and basically the guy who had the lightsaber is oh crap,
Zabrek.
Dabrak, that's the one.
So different species. One has two
Yeah.
horns, one has many horns.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the female of the Deveronian don't have horns.
Good to know.
Okay, so then they move on to that they have various investigations currently going, and one of the things is they are attempting to see what happens when certain bounties are collected. So they have got an eye out on what is actually happening in the government at the moment. And that's when they bring the three of you to the attention of the Emerald.
Mm-hmm.
So these three here are part of a group who have accepted the capture and return of El Capitano to the Bounty Hunter Guild's office.
Mm-hmm.
And they want your input into what's going on. They ask one of your spokesmen to step forward.
Me? One of us?
One of the three of you to step forward.
Okay, are you guys okay if I... Yep. I volunteer myself. And I tell them what they probably already know is that we're new to the area. We're seeking to establish ourselves with a guild. Thus, we started taking bounties.
Which is why currently you're not under suspicion for activities that happened before you arrived.
Yep. And that when we selected this bounty, it looked straightforward. But now it seems that as the presentation shows, we have some concerns about the origin and the reasons for the bounty, and so we're seeking to figure out what is actually in the best interests of the community rather than what is in the best interests of ourselves. Because we believe in contributing to our community, and since this is a new community for us, we want to make sure we're doing the right thing by the community that we're living in. And we're trying to find out whether or not the bounties that we are following are actually legitimate bounties, because we're not absolutely sure that that's the case.
Well, at this point, Lieutenant Sandimo steps up and says that the bounties have all been filed correctly with the Imperial Bureau.
Mm-hmm.
So all the bounties are actually legitimate.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if they've been done for criminal purposes.
Okay.
As far as the Empire is concerned, they're all legitimate bounties.
Okay.
So his opinion is that we see what happens when the bounty is turned in.
And what have they observed, if anything, of significance?
Well, they haven't turned the bounty in yet, so we can't have observed anything until this happened, he says, looking at you strangely.
Okay, so, are you talking in this particular case of El Capitano?
He is, yes.
Okay, so I thought you meant generally, but...
Yes. Okay, so, at this case, you're only brought in for this specific case.
Okay, alright.
And...
Well, as we are bounty hunters, it's not unheard of to assume.
We believe that if the bounty is turned in, that there would be a uprising due to the fact that he is incredibly popular, and all these things that the government is currently doing. It looks like it's more.
Well, he looks at you. Are you advertising you're taking him in?
I'm just saying if he gets taken in.
If he gets taken in, if there's a trial, yes. If there is some sort of media release of it, yes, there could be something. But if he's just brought in and an Imperial witness was also sent along, then it would probably make it hard for anything untoward to happen to the guy, he says.
That would be the most desirable outcome then.
But your job is to take him into the bounty hunter's office, not what happens to him afterwards. Bounty hunters are not known for dealing in politics.
Let's just say we're not your average bounty hunter, and although we don't want to deal in politics, we understand the consequences of this situation.
Consequences would not fall on you even if it was negative.
Okay, alright.
Because you've done a legitimate bounty under the law of this province.
Because the bounty hunter's office is Imperial, correct?
No, it's actually a guild which is independent.
Okay.
And they maintain their independence by...
We're more
paying the
worried about collateral damage.
So that does depend on how showy you try to make things go.
We don't want it showy.
We're not planning on it being showy at all.
I like the idea of having an Imperial witness go along.
Yeah, same here. Does this mean that you guys actually indeed have access to El Capitano and that you're willing to hand him over to an agreeable party?
No, probably more escort him to make sure that no harm has been done.
Yeah.
They can arrange an escort to the Bounty Hunter Guild office.
Yep.
Which will see your work of it done.
Okay.
According to the Empire's laws.
Okay.
Because the bounty does not say that no bounty can actually be posted that prohibits Imperial involvement.
Okay.
Unless it's an independent bounty from criminal organisation.
Alright.
In which case, you're pretty much screwed either way.
Okay.
They don't have to pay, and they don't have to let you live.
Yeah, that's a good
That's why people don't deal with criminals, he says.
Yeah. Well, our job is trying to curb the criminals.
Which is why the Admiral had suggested we bring you in for part of the mission.
We greatly appreciate this consideration.
Okay.
Moving forward then, shall we make arrangements for bringing El Capitano in with the Imperial escort?
We were expecting to send him along with you after this meeting.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We're prepared to do that.
You're the face.
We are prepared to escort him. We have our other operatives standing by.
Yep.
Actually,
Also,
we just need transport. We're not going to walk him all the way there.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure if the Imperials are escorting him, they'll probably have a vehicle to escorting him.
We should ask. So
I ask if, as the Imperials are escorting him, would it be acceptable to provide transport for that Imperial
They
witness?
can arrange a transport.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I know I'm not there and probably not heard any of this, but has the Imperials placed a bounty on the governor's aide?
No, because at this stage...
It's a criminal investigation.
No, it's considered circumstantial.
Yeah.
And it could have been someone with the ID. They still have no actual proof of it, and they do not want to issue arrest warrants for people without proof.
Fair enough. Okay.
And as it also happens in a system which is not under their jurisdiction specifically, under jurisdiction of the planetary security, then basically it would be a crime against the bureaucracy, which would have to be escalated to Imperial authority for them to actually step in.
Okay. This is also good to know.
Which they don't want to exceed their authority and basically act out against the planetary government.
For so-called bad guys, these guys are actually not too bad. Which is really...
Too much people there.
Well, they don't want to fight with every single person over the smallest things.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point too.
And for them, this is just one planet amongst billions.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Alright, let's get to it.
Okay, so they managed to escort you out down to the garage below. Where
I asked for permission to contact Vanya so that we can have a little bit of extra backup?
I said not until you leave the building.
Okay, awesome.
And they have your weapons delivered to the garage under Imperial escort.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case.
Mm.
You don't have a droid carrying the stuff around.
Well, droids are problematic in this world.
Yeah.
Because the security forces have things to turn off any droid. And if they don't have a restraining bolt, then they have
turn 'em off.
authorization to shoot them.
Wow. Why are they so distrustful of your droids, just out of curiosity?
Because droids can be programmed to do anything.
Okay.
And if they don't have a kill switch to turn them off, then they can basically blatantly break every rule.
Fair enough.
I was going to say, think Clone Wars, episodes 1, 2, 3.
I have seen some of the Clone Wars.
Roger.
Yes, exactly. That's why we don't trust the droids.
But I've also seen The Mandalorian, and some of those droids were pretty cool.
Okay.
Alright.
So while you're doing this, Dee, while you're going around the city trying to get jobs, the first place you walk in that has a
You want to babysit him while I go?
that has a job wanted, help wanted thing. The moment you pull out your ID, they say they're not interested in that sort of work.
Okay.
Because you do realise that your ID is flagged as bounty hunter.
Right.
You cannot actually show any ID without showing that you're a bounty hunter.
Okay.
It's the equivalent of going to a shelf stacking job to say that you are a bounty hunter. I'd like to stack your shelf, please. And so after going through 3 or 4 different places, you keep getting a we don't want that kind of trouble here.
It's thanks, but no thanks.
The equivalent of being overqualified for everything in a starport.
Oh, okay, I can say, well, I can actually mod up that rivet gun quite well for you.
And you also find that the security officers don't hire immigrants.
There's only one place that will accept you.
Bounty Hunter Guild.
And the Koyon Mercenary Guild and a few of the other corporations, but they don't operate out of the starport. They operate out of the city itself.
No, but there's a big Imperial emblem saying, "Join us."
Not today. Okay, no problem.
Okay, so while you're doing that, then we have our little friend off doing the gaming.
Oh, yes.
You walk.
I hope he loses it all.
You walk into a bar. You can see many games going here.
Yep.
There's this red-headed woman just losing credits left, right, and centre.
Yeah, it's probably a feint.
Just doesn't seem to be able to win a hand, but doesn't care.
Yeah, that's suspicious. No, that's not on.
And that seems to be the only table at the moment with a seat free.
Fine. I'll go join that table.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
And yes, sitting down, you do recognise her as being one of the Imperial recruiters.
Oh, god damn it. Okay, yep.
The pretty redhead.
Yeah, the one that you had.
That one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your life sucks.
Yep.
You just have that sort of luck going with you today.
You deserve it.
That's because you got a low presence. Presence is the bullshit stat. It's the luck. The world loves you if you've got a high presence.
Alright.
Okay, so she orders you a drink.
Okay, why?
She's ordered everyone at the table a drink.
Cool. I'll, say thanks and hand it to the person next to me.
He downs it without even thinking.
Cool.
Brink! He's happy. And they all seem to be playing cards. So, I will give you a... Let's see, what's a good roll to determine how good you are at doing this? We'll make it a negotiations check.
Negotiations?
As you're trying to figure out who
It's
is...
presence.
Who is actually playing the game and who just doesn't care.
So I've got 2 presents. And it's negotiation, so it's just 2 greens, I think.
2 greens versus 2 purple.
Okay. Okay.
Did you succeed?
Technically, no.
But you got an advantage.
It's 2 advantages, 1 failure.
Okay, so you feel really good about yourself.
Yeah.
And you can give yourself a blue dice on your next check. But you have no idea what anyone's trying to do here.
Alright, cool.
You're too busy staring at the cards and the drinks and the chips.
Yeah, I'm out of my element.
And there's lots of chips here. Okay, so what check would you like to make for your gambling? How would you like to gamble?
With cunning, I would suggest.
I'd like to use cunning, I'm not sure how that works.
Deception, eh?
Is it deception?
You can do a deception check
But
as
isn't
a
that
way of playing.
Cheating, or is that skullduggery?
No, it's not cheating.
Skullduggery is if you're
It's
trying
basically
to harm a card.
hiding. You can hide how good or bad your cards are with deception.
Oh, okay,
You
right.
can use cool to hide how well you are to do that as well. You can use negotiation to see how well you can make everyone believe what you want them to believe. Or you can use deception for the same thing if you really want to lie to them.
Can I use perception to see who's really bad at bluffing?
Yep.
Alright.
So it'll still be 2 purple.
Alright, but it's 4. Perception is cunning. So that gives me 4 greens. Oof. That cancels that. That cancels one of those. That cancels. So 1 success, 1 advantage.
Okay, so did you add a blue dice as well?
Oh no, I didn't. Nothing.
Okay. So, looking around, the redhead appears to be an excellent player who just doesn't care. She's not playing for credits. Most of the other people are happy in the fact that they're fleecing this Imperial and getting free drinks out of it at the same time.
Yeah, something's not right about that.
And you know she's having casual conversation with people, asking them stuff.
So she's picking up intel.
Yeah, she is.
And the more that she loses, the more they tell her.
The more they tell her.
Mm-hmm. Because keeping her at the table.
Okay. Alright.
And then she gives them alcohol and they talk more.
So I want to aim for the other guys. I want to try and get some money because they're happy to lose.
They seem absolutely horrible at this game, so this is the first time they've been winning.
Right, okay. Alright. Okay, so if I'm trying to play this, I will play using deception.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get the thingy because I failed that last time.
Okay, so you're up against 3 purple.
3 purple.
Couldn't you use that advantage to get another blue?
No, he
I rolled it already.
It doesn't matter how many times you miss that roll.
gave him a different sort of advantage.
Oh.
So that cancels that. Interesting. So 5 advantage, but no actual successes.
So how much money did you throw in?
I'd say about 10.
Yeah, so you're down 10 credits, but you think you got a better idea of what's happening, and I will give you 2 blue dice on your next roll.
Oh, I'm sending you a link, well, actually, not a link, but a photo of the rules for Sabak.
Not going to go through the actual rules for it right now.
So 2 advantages, you said?
Yep, 2 advantages. Basically, to play the actual rule for Sabak would take probably about half an hour of gameplay or more. So I tried to avoid using it as an actual in-game thing.
Alright, that's much better. I should state before I rolled, I plan to put 20 on this, so if I lose this, I lose. But that's fine. Hang on, so that's 2 advantage, 2 success. That cancels, that cancels. So that cancels that. So we're looking at 1 advantage, 2 success.
Okay, so you managed to walk away after that with 100 credits.
Sweet. So
And a drink's been put at your table.
a drink?
Yeah.
By who?
A nice Carillion ale. It just showed up while you were scooping your winnings up.
Cool. And the person next to me.
He's getting a lot more tipsier.
That's fine.
Yeah, he's just waiting for the person to go.
Easier winnings for me.
You want some food a little bit later, let me know.
Okay, so you do that for about an hour or so when you got your 200 credits. Because they play for a while.
So what? It was just 100 credits, wasn't it?
At this stage, yeah.
Yep, cool. Cool.
You basically do about around for half an hour or more.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and then the other guys head out of the building in an Imperial transport. And then you're allowed to use your comms again.
I've had my comms on this whole time, so.
Alright, send message to the other 3. We're moving out, we're turning in the bounty.
Alright.
And I could just see someone going,
I'll finish the game and say thank you to the table and take my winnings. And
As you do that, you see people, the woman drops another 50 credits onto the table.
yeah. I know her type. I'm just
Yeah, Piper doesn't budge. She keeps.
Isn't Piper at the
shooting
recruitment
drinks out
offer?
of the recruit.
So Piper's at the recruitment center at the moment. They're talking you through how the Empire, how joining the Empire will change your life. How you'll get to explore and see things that you'd never have a chance of doing in your life normally. And then they ask to see your ID, so they can check to see where you're best suited.
All you've got is your bounty hunter ID.
Yeah, got that. I appear to have left my ID back in my accommodation.
Oh, so that's okay. We can do a scan of your code and find your reference on file fairly easily, ma'am. Just stick your arm in this device, and after that, we'll start giving you the alcohol as promised.
no,
Oh god, we're never gonna get it back.
that's not the concern.
Oh, I'm really tempted to make Mark's life a little bit more difficult. However, Piper will not put any sort of appendage in any sort of device for fear of it being taken as a sign or a signature. Piper politely refuses and feels jibbed because she hasn't got any booze.
All it does is allow us to identify you on the Imperial network based on any previous licenses or accounts you may have had with the Empire. And don't worry, we can arrange for any infractions you've had to be waived if you join.
Yeah, I'm very sure that that's probably a thing. However, I'm very not interested in potentially getting... oh god, what's that term where
Implanted?
people get taken for the Navy?
Shanghai?
Yeah, I have no intention of getting Shanghai just because I accidentally done something.
press game.
Press gang.
Says,
you get press gang, you get Shanghai or press gang, yeah.
It says,
same
oh
thing.
no, he is very upfront. Every person must actually sign willingly. This is just an identity check.
Yeah, that's fine. Piper turns around and leaves.
Okay. As you leave is when the comm actually goes off. So you had to sit through the whole spiel, but before they give you the alcohol, they were checking your ID. You think part of what they check the ID for is to make sure everyone's old enough to drink, but...
Yeah, no.
Because it's very hard to tell how old a species is unless you can identify the species.
That one's 50.
Mm-hmm.
But still not old enough to drink.
Still not old enough to drink.
So, As you get out, you hear the comms that they're heading off to the office, and you see the truck just drive past you.
Yeah.
That nice big Imperial logo on the side of it.
Yeah, the one thing you don't know is whoever returns the bounty gets a free drink.
Yeah.
Oh, Piper knows that. Yeah. And so Piper is very upset about not getting the last one.
Twice.
Yep.
Now twice.
Yeah, you missed out twice on the free drinks. As you see the truck go off down into the distance.
You know what? You guys can figure out exactly Piper's attitude right now. It's not going to take a lot of work for you.
I don't think she can sprint for 3 hours.
Actually, Piper's fairly fit and motivated.
Yeah.
Getting a drink may actually make her catch the vehicle and jump on the back of it.
She's done this in the past. She can run really fast if there's alcohol at the other end.
She outrun the rest of the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember last time?
Oh, in that case, fuck. Cheese it. Let's go.
There you go.
Okay. So yes, you hear inside the vehicle from one of the Imperials saying, "We've got someone chasing us in the street right now. Should we deal with them?"
Can you describe them?
Looks wide-eyed, maniac, appear to be swearing, and appears to might actually be...
Is this on a viewer?
no, he's just looking out the side.
Okay, can I look out the side?
Yeah.
I'll say, she's okay, she's our backup.
Are you sure? She looks a bit maniac to me.
Yeah, that's why she's our backup.
Do you want us to stop and pick her up?
Goddamn
I can hear that in the distance. Are you sure you want us to stop or go faster?
No, stop, stop.
Okay.
Not
It
wrong.
stops rather suddenly.
I poke my head out and show Piper it's me.
Ah.
You getting in
Well.
the car? I tell her to hurry up and get in.
Piper gets in the car.
Okay.
Val appears and jumps in as well.
I introduce Vanya and Piper as members of our team.
Mhm.
And the reason for their sudden turning up is because we contacted them to make sure that we had adequate protection for this bounty.
Okay. So you managed to make it to the Bounty Hunters Guild with very little problems.
Just probably have to go around the back.
No, they pull up to the front, but they got stormtroopers and the guys in a heavy cloak.
Oh, cool.
And you are going in with Lieutenant Sandimo.
And I'll hand it
So
in.
he'll act as the
Well, the
Imperial
thing
witness.
is, we
Yes.
organised the delivery.
Yeah.
He is their criminal investigation branch.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So here is.
Vanya, are you wanting to hand him in so that you get recognised as the leader of the party?
Yep.
Okay. Is there any way that you can just make sure that Piper gets a drink?
Yeah, no problem.
Rather than you getting the free drink, perhaps Piper can...
A drink of alcohol.
Yes, a drink of alcohol. Piper's run a long way. She deserves some sort of reward. So next time we need her to run, she will run.
Oh, by the way, the asshole went gambling.
Yes. That was pain brain. Not filtering there, but, you know.
Okay, so yes, as you walk in, the guy behind the counter calls out, "Oh, Kayana, I see you've got another one."
I did what I could.
Yes.
I say our team has captured another one, and our
Congratulations, Kayana.
and I.
I'll mark another one down for you.
Vanya is.
Oh, your second Vanya.
But I am the second.
Not according to our records here. So Vanya's your second?
Yeah, we'll have to go for that then.
Yes.
No.
Okay,
I
Vanya's
have
your
a
second.
suspicion that trying to get them to change their record would be a bit like trying to get Centrelink to actually give you the right form the first time.
The only way
It's
of
like
do-
getting my Medicare card in the right name.
Yeah.
the only way if
Yeah.
you're going to be able to do it is you have to slice into their system and change it yourself.
Yep.
Okay, so they served across 2 drinks this time.
All right.
Now that you got a second, you get another drink.
Oh. Well,
How you guys split that up is up to you.
I will give my
I'll
drink to
give
Piper.
it mine to Piper.
I'll give you
So
two guesses.
Piper ends up with 2 drinks.
I'm pretty sure that as an alcoholic, Piper is not going to get drunk off 2 drinks.
No.
So
I
we're
like how
okay.
last game I was
Yeah,
being
but Piper
accused
is also
of
not sharing.
enabling. Now I'm not the one enabling.
The drinks are quite nice ales as well. So they're not cheap stuff.
Alright.
Yeah, they don't last long enough to be tasted.
You do get the that buzz of having alcohol though.
I think it would just only make
Splendid.
matters worse.
Okay, so they've give you your 300 credits, and they ask about whether or not you are in the market for more bounties yet, or you're wanting to rest on your reward and come back tomorrow.
What bounties are there?
There's only one currently going that hasn't been taken.
What's that bounty, just out of interest?
Basically, apparently, the Farthian Montcurl managed to kill the hunter who was bringing him in, and so we're in the lookout for another hunter to replace him.
What is a Farthian? What is a
his name.
Farthian?
That's his
Oh,
name. Farthian
okay.
Montcurl.
What?
Is that the farmer one
Yes,
that
that's
we
the farmer.
rejected?
What are the details of this bounty?
That they are the details of the bounty is 300 credits for capturing alive, no lasting harm.
And it's a farmer, did you say?
And he's wanted for delusional attacks on government officials from an estate outside of town, and that's all the information you get to accept the bounty.
Okay.
The other information you got was as a PC.
Okay. Well, no, I don't.
Me just being specific there.
No,
Yeah.
I don't remember what the original.
That was what I said. That's the original thing.
Do we know what species he is?
You've been given no other details, but
So they don't know the species
they don't give that out to someone who hasn't
until
taken
you
the
accept
bounty.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. No,
So
that's
you have
fair
to
enough.
accept the bounty or wait till.
So at
tomorrow
this
for
point,
the
you
bounty.
can't ask any more questions. They just give you that information, and then you either accept or don't accept. Okay.
And then you find out more details after accepting.
So can you read out what we're allowed to hear again?
Again, his name is Farthian Montcurl, and it's capture alive, no lasting harm, wanted for delusional attacks on government officials on farm estate outside of town.
Okay. On a what? A farmer.
A farm estate.
Farm
outside of-
estate outside of town. Okay. Couple of questions for the group. Do we have anything that will knock someone out for
Let's
small
see.
amount of time?
Stun grenade, blaster set for stun, force pike.
So we have ways of getting him at a distance if we can.
Piper shows the glass in her hand.
Alcohol. Okay.
No.
Glass.
You're going for. She was trying to do seduction.
Oh, okay. All right.
What
Seduction.
glasses like this?
Oh.
No.
300
no.
credits. And it's the last one.
The other ones are currently still ongoing.
I don't have a problem accepting that, but does anyone else?
Yeah, we'll take it.
Take
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
Ross?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You're not
am I even
here,
here? Okay,
but
that's
but as a player, you get to have a vote.
Not really, if I'm not there.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
No.
How many hunters
out
were
of
on it
character.
previously?
I'm not doing that.
They can't give you those details.
What about you? Kayana would say yes.
All right.
Okay.
Can't do
Piper?
this.
Leslie would say no, but Kayana says yes.
I don't know.
Well,
no idea
technically,
what Piper
I'd say
would
no
say.
to them all. They all sound pretty hard.
Well, anything
we need
that
money.
leads to more money for drinking, I'm sure Piper would say yes to.
We need money. That's basically the answer.
Yeah.
There might be more bounties up tomorrow, but if we take the bounty today, we can start doing research and we can start developing a plan to go out tomorrow to get more stuff. We've already lost a bit of money on El Capitano, even though we got the bounty. We've regained some of that money. We did
But not
spend
all.
100 credits.
Yeah.
100 and we spent
He's
like
probably spent
200
about
credits.
200 credits.
Yeah, 200
Wow.
credits on the false IDs and the clothes and stuff like that. So we're really only making 100 back. So the sooner we can get onto a new bounty, the better.
With all the clothes, I think you actually spent probably about 400 credits on the 300 credit bounty.
I don't think we quite
Including
got that much.
That was including Piper's spending.
What did
Piper bought an expensive dress.
Yeah, Piper bought me a 50 credit dress.
An expensive dress for herself.
Oh, did she
What?
buy an expensive dress for herself?
I didn't go to the party.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Basically bankrupted herself.
so we need a bounty faster than tomorrow. We need to start working on
We
a
do.
bounty. Yeah. So we take the bounty and hope it's not going to bite us in the ass too
Well, it
hard.
can't be worse than the last one.
Okay, so
Yeah,
they
it can.
hand you across the bounty park, and you find out from the details that Farthin Montcurl is the father of the current governor of the planet.
Oh.
And that was the information I told them out as players out of session.
Well, aren't you glad I have no memory? Because I had no idea.
And that's why Kessler would say no to this bounty.
Because Kesley remembered.
Kessler remembers.
Yes, well, Ariadne
But
did not.
But Kayana knows that we are here to be bounty hunters, and so we need to get bounties.
And you find out that it was a group of 3 hunters had gone in, and the guy basically shot them down when they crossed his boundary of his farm. From about a K away from his barn.
So they got
Nice, easy
shot.
mark.
Yeah.
Guys,
We're going to have to stealth in. Or get a legitimate way in.
And
Wow.
and apparently this is one of the core reasons for removing blasters from access to rural areas, is the fact that the governor's father has been known to shoot officials.
Is there any way we can find out if the governor's father has had his blaster taken off him?
He
No
shot,
one's
the,
probably
he
got
shot the
any-
person the night before.
Oh,
No-
okay.
Yeah, no one's got probably going to be near enough to start.
They haven't actually had an official show up on the farm and survive in the last 6 months, which is when the bounties got raised.
So we don't want to be officials then. We want to...
be unofficials.
Mm.
Well, we want to get in there. So I guess we go home and we try and do some research on him. Find out what his hobbies and interests are. Does he have any passions?
Shooting things.
Does
Very
it
most of it.
Does he like slow walks on the beach?
Yeah,
Okay.
that kind of thing.
So you return to the barracks.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Sandemo hands you his comm number so you can contact him if you need to.
I thank him. Do I have enough credits to offer to take him to dinner for a modest but not awful meal?
He's going to be busy for quite a while, making sure nothing happens to the guy.
Okay. Well.
He says he'll get in touch with you once his task is finished,
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
but he can't leave his charge until things are resolved.
Absolutely. We bid him farewell and tell him. Well, no, we don't tell him May the 4th be with you. Because he might take exception to that. So we just bid him farewell. Head back to the barracks.
Yep.
Do some research.
As you're walking out, you can hear some of the stormtroopers talking to each other outside at the vehicle. Some of them still they don't seem to understand why they're helping a bureaucrat with stuff.
So, what do they say?
They just seem very dismissive of the lieutenant.
Oh, the lieutenant. Oh, okay. Interesting. I just see if they're up for some idle chatter.
They clam up when you come up and
Oh,
seem a
okay.
bit more professional and go, what can I do for you, ma'am?
I'm just, I'm new to the city and,
Well,
keen
they're
to make some...
great places to go. You see these big signs saying recruitment for these bars. They offer free drinks.
Yes.
And a new chance at a life with ability to shoot people for a living.
As you can see, I've got a career at the moment that I'm currently
but-
content with.
You don't have the backing of the Empire behind you.
No.
Whereas with these jobs, you get to shoot people for the Empire.
Yes, but the thing is, bureaucracy is the heart of the Empire. And without bureaucracy, you wouldn't be standing here.
They seem very unsure about that. When
Just
they're
take that
I-
note.
I-
And I walk off.
I make a gesture towards Khalid and I say, he's not altogether there.
And he flicks a credit towards you and says, "Go buy him a drink. I'm sure he needs it."
Yeah, I think he does too, to be honest. And I take the credit because every credit is good for the family.
Okay, I'm going to go up to the lieutenant and ask him, how do we become Imperial sanctioned hunters?
He says you already are technically Imperial sanctioned hunters. You have a bounty hunter's permit.
Yeah.
Without that permit, you can't hunt. Period.
Yeah. He wouldn't have talked to us at the first site if we didn't have Imperial sanctioned IDs.
Yeah, the thing is, we're just low level at the moment. We're E-level adventurers.
Yeah. We just need to get our 8 more bounties so that we can get enough of a reputation to get the better bounties.
If you want to take on Imperial listed bounties itself through the Imperial Bureau, you would not be working on this planet.
Yeah.
Because they don't issue bounties here.
Okay, thank you.
Or at least he says, at least not yet. They haven't branched out into the Outer Rim much for bounties. Most of their bounties are posted in the core worlds.
Okay, cool, no problem. Thank you.
Yep.
Alright, let's go do some research.
Okay. So, you make it back to the barracks in one piece. Piper is probably the cheeriest she's been for 2 or 3 days.
You're damn right.
Actually, when are we expecting our next visit?
What do you mean our next visit?
You've got at least another 6 days.
Okay. So you need to sober up in 6 days.
Yeah. But for the meantime, who are our expert peoples on the nets and...
That would be Piper and... I forget who else.
Piper
and Viana.
Since you've had a couple of drinks, do you think you're in a cheery enough mood to do some research on this governor's father for us?
Yeah, I can do anything.
Well, we need to get as much information about the governor's father as we can. And if you provide me with some substantial information, I will take you down to the pub for another drink.
Fantastic.
We see nothing wrong with this whatsoever.
No, I see lots of things wrong with it, but I'm at a point now where I just we need to get money, and my standards have dropped significantly.
Were they able to determine what was shooting at them?
Not from the report that you saw. You didn't actually see a proper report. You just got a notice.
So he shot that official from a K away, did you say?
No, he shot the bounty hunters from a K away.
Shot. So what about the officials?
Doesn't say because he's just been shooting officials.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to do a research into him. So I'm going to say not too hard, so 2 difficulty. And Piper has 3 dice, but because Piper's been drinking, I'm going to give Piper a blue dice.
Can I assist? I can't assist, can I?
Someone here will have to roll.
I've got presence and willpower.
2 purple.
We need someone
2
with
purple,
cunning.
3 green, and a blue.
Or intellect. Vanya, can you assist?
Yeah, I can give my intellect a 4.
Yep. Is that
In which case it
possible?
would just be an extra green dice.
Extra green?
Mm-hmm. So the 2 of you are collaborating.
Don't forget force point or whatever.
And upgrade it.
You can upgrade it, but that does give me more things to use against you.
Can we not upgrade it at this stage?
Yeah, we'll leave it for now.
You've got the odds are going in favour of us at the moment.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've got... So that cancels that. That cancels that. So we have a success and an advantage.
So you have an success and an advantage. Looking through the material you've got, you see that he has awards dating back about 60 years for marksman. He basically is considered best shot on the planet, untrained.
Does he have any hobbies outside of shooting?
That is his hobby. He is considered one of the best marksmen in the region.
I don't know.
And
Does he have a
Farmer,
cat
he
obsession or
uses
something?
critters for target practice.
And the amusing thing is, he's an atrocious farmer.
Okay.
You
That's
just wanted the
all
excuse for a wide range.
good.
And apparently that there's no record of him actually selling a single produce from his farm.
See, if
He's not paid taxes because he's not sold anything.
if my cat could be there, he'd be more excited about the fact that he's using a sniper rifle as opposed to the bounty.
And he's also supposed to have one of the best gun collections on the planet.
Can we interview him about his gun collection?
I'm not there.
And
I'm asking the group in
and
general.
with the advantage, you dig back
Oh
a
no,
little
we're
bit
back at the
further.
hotel now, actually.
Oh, are we?
And,
Oh, well, we are. I don't know where you are.
and you find out he was actually fighting in the Clone Wars.
Wow.
And he was not a clone, but he was in the front lines.
So he was for the Empire?
No,
He was for the Republic.
A Republic.
And-
Right.
Republic returned to the Empire. That became the Empire.
Right, yes.
due to the Jedi attack.
So did the Republic become the Empire?
Republic became the Empire.
So he's for all intents and purposes, he's an imperialist?
He never served the Empire.
Okay.
He was under the
He
Republic.
was retired before the
Okay.
before it actually finished.
Okay.
Apparently, the governor has his father's medals in his office.
Oh, God.
Well, I would suggest we maybe try and interview him.
Don't
About
mention his
his-
son.
Why does his son have his medals in his office?
Because I think he's being
etc., etc.
You can if your character wishes to spend lots of time on it. The problem is you don't have huge amounts of time from what you've been doing,
Well,
and most of your downtime you've spent looking for jobs or.
she spent a couple of hours before we left,
Yes,
though.
but that's a
working on
couple of hours, so she might have put a single article up or a single bio up.
it. Yeah. But she can continuously work on that in between, right? So she could put a couple of hours in tonight.
Yeah. How far out of town is he?
He is way out of town, so he's enough that you can't walk there.
We need to get a
The
transport.
location of it is off as far off the beaten track as you can get and still be considered adjacent to the city.
Okay, so
He has about 6 kilometres of land around his barn.
How much is it to hire a speeder?
Hiring a speeder, not too difficult. They will hire out a speeder for 50 credits.
Just a quick.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was waiting for you to finish.
What's your question?
My question's completely different. That's why I'm waiting for you to finish.
what's the excess?
The excess is if it's damaged, they will charge you the about 10 times the price of the repair. And
Yay.
if you destroy the vehicle, then they will charge you 10 times the price of the vehicle.
Is there any
one that doesn't
indication
have
of the relationship the governor has with his father? As in, is there any indication whether or not they talk, whether they're great friends, whether they hate each other?
That is not listed anywhere.
No sign of that at all?
No sign of that at all.
Is there any way we could find that out? Like
There-
maybe...
Ask the 2IC,
No, the
Who's the 2IC?
the assistant. About the governor.
Would it
The
be
governor's
easier if we talk to
Okay, yeah.
the guy himself, through the interview?
We could talk to the governor's assistant or the governor's office first to see, as a press, that we're doing an article on the governor, and can they give us some information about, is he a family man, that kind of thing, and maybe find out something from there. Because if the governor and his father are on good terms, and the reason he has those awards is because he's proud of his dad, and his dad's proud for him to show his awards off, well then maybe we could ask to do a father-son interview, and maybe if they agree to a father-son interview, they would drive us out there.
That's a long route just for travel.
or you could just ask the.
It also
Deveron.
gets us in without being shot.
You could also ask the Deveron if he knows what the local politics is with him.
Yeah, we could ask the Deveronian. I feel we've got to be careful about overusing the Devaronian though. I think the other option is that they may bring the father out to us for a father-son interview. So they might even bring him in for us if we roll well enough and we play it well enough.
I think he'd probably try and shoot the people who bring him in.
Yeah.
Well, not if it's the governor and it's his son and they're on good terms.
He's been shooting at government officials, though.
Oh, yeah, that's a good sign. I didn't think of that. I should have. It's kind of obvious. So if he's shooting at government officials, then he probably doesn't like his son. Therefore, we would probably go out there as anti-government.
Because probably he wants his medals back.
We could try and steal his medals, but I don't think we've got a lot of chance of that. I don't think we could steal the medals, knowing what we know about the governor's mansion.
No, I don't think we could too. But it was a nice fantasy while it lasted for like 2.4 seconds. I don't know. Does anyone else have any ideas of how they want to approach it? Aside from asking the governor's aide, who may not know much if they're not on good terms.
We ask the governor's father himself if he would like to do an interview.
Only we had a sandcrawler.
How, can you, is there a way to, contact him,
Possibly.
without going onto his property?
You'd have to know his number, and if his number's listed.
Okay, so can these two, having their skill in intellect and...
They didn't find any details in their checking of him.
Okay,
in their background
alright.
check, they only got a little bit of information.
Okay.
The only person I suspect who might have that number would be the assistant.
Okay, so we could give the assistant a try, but he's dirty as mud.
And that's if the assistant hasn't disappeared.
And the other thing is the assistant's currently under investigation by the Imperials, which then puts you into the investigation again.
Yeah, I don't know that we
Oh,
want
I
to be...
see, right.
Can we check to see if he's in the HoloNet book?
You didn't find him when you were doing your background search.
Okay.
I'm really reluctant to go back to the Devaronian, but he's kind of the only contact we got aside from the Lieutenant Santimo.
Well, can we also find a place that we don't lease the hut, lease the speeders from a hut?
Well, anywhere that's if you say you're taking it out of the city, it will cost more.
Yeah, before we go out there, we really need to figure out how to get in there. We need to have a way in, a way of either contacting him and letting him invite us there because we are people he would agree to see. I.e., we want to interview him about his history and his expert marksmanship, and
When did he start shooting at people?
The article doesn't say.
Is there any indication, if we look at the articles about attacks and shootings, that show roughly when it started? The first set of articles turned up?
They refer to articles, but you can't find the other articles.
Okay. Is this just because we're not rolling well enough to make a deep enough search, or is this...
Or there's something hiding the articles.
Something's hot, like the governor, maybe.
Could be the governor's aide is arranging for the articles to disappear.
Okay.
It is bad PR for the governor. Yes, your dad shoots your officials.
Yeah, that could...
And basically, as soon as gun control comes in, you'll be arresting him next week.
We could take Stefan's idea and approach the governor's aide about doing some good PR about the governor's father instead of bad PR. So, something good out there to counteract the bad PR.
Yeah, that's if we
Crazed
want to
farmer
interact
returns
with
guns.
the
Imperials again.
Yeah, that'll get us into the investigation.
Yeah, but we'll get on. Why did you contact him? And so on and so that's what we'll get asked by.
After you've already been told they're investigating him.
Yeah. Is the governor's aide the only contact at the governor's office? I'm sure they got...
There are other contacts, but you
yeah.
didn't even get to the aide. You when you called in last time, you basically got the equivalent of a switchboard.
Okay, alright. And they're going to contact us in a week.
Or that's if they want to. They probably won't even bother.
Yeah, that's...
You've been added to the list of people that they'll get to, and eventually you might get a message coming through to your server saying you're unsuccessful in getting an interview.
Yeah, we've seen your website, you suck.
Do you think maybe we should try and put up some articles up that might at least garner us a little bit of...
Honestly, I think this guy's more of off-the-grid thing. He probably wouldn't read up stuff that's on the net.
Yeah, well, that's why...
I think it's like the happy hermit thing that doesn't like to be disturbed. Unfortunately, he's annoyed some people.
But yeah, so we need to figure out how to approach him. We could try and find ourselves some weapons that we could offer to sell in black market.
No, the amount of money that we've got.
No. We don't have to have real weapons. We just have to have an empty case that he can't see the weapons in. We just need to get in the door and over the threshold.
Suppose it's gun salesman?
Yeah.
With the recent buybacks of weaponry, we have acquired a rare weapon that we heard with his collection that he may be interested in.
Yeah.
With
actually, I got some reloads. We could sell him.
Yeah, it might be really hard for him to get ammo.
Well, we don't know what he uses. He might be doing solid slugs.
But either way, we don't actually have to have the slugs. We just have to get in the door. He's good at a distance. We've got to close that distance.
The only issue from here is contacting him.
Yeah, that's the real big issue, is figuring out how to get in contact with him. No matter what approach we use.
It's the sign. We have cookies.
We have reloads.
We have chocolate chip cookies.
Well, I could just load up a jacket, go up to a cave within his place and open it up and have it full of ammo.
Right, then you look like a crazed woman in a bomb vest.
Not if it's full of ammo and he's got a scope. And then, wave my comm thing around and see whether or not I get him on band.
So you have a guy with a gun, trained military operative, sees a person with a bunch of ammo, opening their jacket. I don't think that
if I wave a comm link around,
that's a bomb.
Actually, I've got some
detonator.
Binoculars. We could stake out the place.
We could stake out the place and see if there is anyone he's letting on and off. I think that might be the way to go. Figure out who he does let in and out if he does. Like, surely he needs food. Maybe we can approach with like an apple cart or the equivalent thereof.
He's a crap farmer, so yeah.
He's a crap farmer, so if he's not producing food, he's got to get it some way. So we could possibly go in with the equivalent of, a veggie cart or something.
He's probably not a vegetarian or something. We don't know if he's a vegetarian or not.
Well, I said the equivalent of. It doesn't have to have veggies on it. It could have a variety of foods on there. As long as he sees something that he's likely to eat, he might let us in. As long as we don't look like officials and we look like we're farmers, perhaps, he might let us on and offer to buy food off us.
And he'll probably turn around and go, "Hey, get off my land."
Well, if he gets close enough to take the food off the cart, then we can hopefully pull a weapon or two on him, or a stun grenade or something, and probably a stun grenade.
We take the top off of the cooler, and lo and behold, underneath we have some reloads, some ammo packs for him or whatever.
Well, I think maybe going over the approach of, he doesn't like officials, but he does need food. So going up, approaching his estate with a cart full of food and posing as farmers, we might just get on.
I definitely think we need to observe first, because he not only is shooting at officials, he killed bounty hunters.
Yeah.
So
that's why we have to dress as farmers.
In.
Well, and we may not know if he's firing at just anybody.
Yeah,
yet.
that's why I said stake it out.
So we definitely need to stake out first.
Stake it out, see who he's letting on the property.
10k from his property.
There you go. Speak to the neighbours.
Well, we can do that as well. We can talk to the neighbours and stake out. Like, a couple of us can stake out while a couple of us go and interview neighbours.
Can I make a xenology roll?
A what? A xenology roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know what kind of wildlife is out here.
Mm.
To the point that would he kill the wildlife so he can survive, and that's what he eats.
Okay. Give me
yeah.
a xenology roll. It'd only be 2 green because it's not too hard to find
Can-
out. Sorry, 2 purple. It's not that hard to find out.
Can
Is
I
there
get assistance from Mr. Intelligent or Mrs. or whoever is
Miss
intelligent?
Intelligence?
Have you, been,
Vana.
have you been skilled in it?
So who's
He's skilled in
the
it, yeah.
intelligent person?
Vana.
Me.
Varna? Okay,
Yeah,
Varna.
I'll give you 4
4.
for your xenology.
So you then get to replace one of the green with the yellow.
Just while I remember to ask, you can answer it later. I just want to put the question out there. Can we look in older records, like much older ones, like before it was bad publicity, and see if he's ever eaten out with his son, if he's ever attended any banquets?
Well, that's the thing that's hard. You're not finding it very hard to find any articles about him.
Okay, so we can't even find out what his favourite food
that
is.
is older than the last couple of days. And the one in the last couple of days cites older articles that you can't find.
Yeah, darn.
What'd you get?
1 failure, 4 advantage.
Okay, so you find some interesting articles on wildlife.
Okay.
Unfortunately, not for this planet.
Oh.
It's about hunting things on the Koyan world that you were just on, and you recognise some of the beasts that the Koyans would go hunting with their daggers. That had a good chance of killing them.
Yeah. Okay.
And the thing was they would only hunt something that was a fair fight. It's no worth hunting something that they're going to kill. And there's all these articles on that you can find.
Yeah.
Can we pull enough credits together to get a little second-hand sort of the equivalent of a minivan or whatever? Drive out there and then a couple of us stake out, a couple of us go talk to the neighbours.
I think it's like a couple of thousand for.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we have enough.
Surely
for
there's
that.
some junkers out there that barely run for like 100 something credits. Like in like the real world, you can get junker cars for $200-300 that
Yeah,
run.
but that's
There's a Mazda next door that was $400 that runs fine.
But that's where they get you, is they'll make sure it runs enough to get you out there, but then they'll charge you extra when it breaks down to get you back.
No,
and
I'm
repair
talking
it.
about buying it so that we own a little junker car
Yeah,
that our gadgeteer can maintain, hopefully.
not on our budget right now.
Well, we've got
If it's
100
50 credits just to hire a speeder to get out there.
I'm talking about a junker though.
Yeah, but that could be a junk speeder. Like that's a very, very basic.
I'm not talking about a speeder. I'm talking about something less.
Yeah, but
You're talking about a bigger vehicle, though.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
junker is bigger than a speeder. A speeder's like 2 people.
Yeah, but I'm talking.
Actually, speeder could actually have more than 2 people because what I was on
I'm
about
not
was
talking
the car.
specifically about a junker, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about a car or
Okay,
a
while
vehicle
it's
that
carrying
can
on about
take
that,
a couple of
I'm
people
going through
at
the
least.
Yeah.
That is
speeder
an older car.
and
Like
seeing
the
what's
equivalent of
available.
that Mazda out
Most
there can
things
fit
start
5
at
to
about,
6 people in it, but it
about
only costs
10,000
$400.
credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
And
So there's
you have a couple of
there's
them
likely to
going
be a
for
place, a
about
down and
1,000
out
to
place in a
2,000.
city like this where we can find a very cheap
They're
car that we just have to
on
make
their last
minor
legs sort of
fixes to that
vehicles.
might have oil leaks. It's very old, useless to everyone else.
Of course, one
that
of
we
them
can
says was
buy.
only driven to
And I'm
the
saying just look.
chapel
Yeah,
on a
that's fine.
Sunday.
You can
for
can
the,
ask if
old
that's what you
lady.
want to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Instead of renting,
Yeah, we want to
'cause that's
avoid
well out of our
bloody,
affordability.
stuff from that
maybe
don't
we can find
require
an old
using
car if we
streetwise.
role play it well enough.
You might be able to. We'll find out.
Just saying, we should just give it a shot.
Well, at the moment, I would say hiring one is better than buying one that
Hiring
only
one's a
gets,
huge
like,
problem
20 feet.
because if we hire one and it costs 50 credits just to buy it, and if it gets bullet holes in it, which is highly likely, we're then going to be in for a ton of debt that we can't afford. Whereas if we're really lucky and we look around for a junker place, we might be able to find something
You do
we
find
can
one for
afford.
about 450.
Can we pay it off?
That is basically take it or leave it sort of broken down vehicle.
Okay, because I think the most we've got
Okay,
together
it's
is like
450.
100 and...
No,
Yeah.
they'll use most of our savings because
That-
we've got the 300 that we just got.
And
Yeah,
they
I've
normally
that's
go-
what I
got,
expected.
I've got 119 or whatever.
They normally go for 4,500.
Yeah, no, I know that, but I'm just... I'm just hoping, that if luck favours us, we might be able to talk it down a bit. And, yeah, we might be able to... Can we at least try to talk it down a
You
bit?
could try. You have to spend time tracking them down.
Well, that's what I'll do the next day then. I'll see if I can find us transport. Because I think even if we lose a day finding transport, we're going to have to get transport eventually to get around. So if this 450 vehicle will just do for the moment, then, that's at least going to be transport when we need to get long distances. Is there anyone else who's good at, I might need someone with cunning who might want to come with me?
No, I can come with you, but I'll be more with negotiation than cunning.
Mechanics is intellect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe someone with mechanics should go, because I have willpower and presence.
And Piper is the vehicle specialist.
Can I take Piper with me?
But I've got the intellect, so.
Though you're not known as the vehicle specialist.
But Piper's a vehicle specialist, so I'm thinking if I can take Piper with me, she can at least check it over and make sure it'll run a little bit with only minor maintenance.
I think Piper's disappeared.
Has Piper disappeared?
Possibly. Sorry, wrong one. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, I think Piper's disappeared for the moment.
Okay, so
Piper may be back.
who's the next best person?
That would be Vanya.
Vanya. So,
I know how to drive.
Vanya.
are you, Vana, are you willing to spend a day trying to track down a vehicle with me?
Yeah, but probably the best option would be to hire it. But what we can always do is park out of sight, and then
How much
so it won't
does
get
a
damaged.
hire last for?
Well, they basically are happy to
50
hire
credits a
50
day?
credits for the week.
Oh, for a week? I thought it was a day.
You heard 50 credits and then decided we'd do something else.
No.
Yeah, no, well, it's basically then we pay 10 times or whatever the damage
Yeah, I
is.
heard the
it's the
10
damages,
times the
yeah.
damage, and that's a real worry.
It's basically that they will charge for damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I honestly do not like leaving it out there.
Yeah,
With
well, that's
Jawas on this
what
planet,
happens.
yeah.
I was going to say, if there's Jawas on the planet, that's a huge risk leaving it out there.
Then we get 50 credits each. Ouch.
We need to get out there somehow. What about animals?
Animals are also available.
Are they cheaper?
Not particularly, because basically
Okay.
They're worth more.
they are worth more, yeah.
Okay. Is there a
I was
public
actually
system?
gonna Say,
Not out there.
who is the scavenger out of that?
He's the gambler.
No, the scavenger.
He's the gambler.
That's the gambler.
Yeah,
Right.
apparently he's
I was gonna say,
not that
if-
interested at the moment.
If the scavenger could, I don't know, get some junk, I could probably, with Piper, do some mods and sell them.
From where?
So basically you're doing what Jawas are doing.
Yeah, but it makes
Yeah,
us
you
enough
know,
money to
just
either
make
hire
an
or...
extra few bucks.
It's not a big money spinner, and you have to spend time. So you'd be probably
Yeah.
spending a week or two repairing things
I
to
just-
make less than you would on a bounty.
I just don't want to spend all our money on a resource that we can't keep on a job. Like, we bought a dress, and, we can reuse that at least. But if we hire a car, that's expending money on something that we can't keep. But if we are able to buy a car, we can keep using that to keep earning money for us.
How many seater is this car?
Okay, the one you were looking at originally, it will hold up to... sorry, wrong page. It would hold up to 7.
Cool.
So that's all of us as
It's
a group.
Scooby Van.
Yeah,
So
so
it-
it
the-
could be the
Mystery
scuba
It
deal.
is also an airspeeder which will go between cities.
And if we need to go between cities for other bounties, that gives us options. So it's an investment.
You do find one that you can get for 300 credits, which will not take you between cities, but is ground only.
And will that take us out to the farm and back?
It will take you out to the farm and back.
And is there
That's
any
that's
room for
wheeled, is it?
negotiation on that 300?
That is basically almost scrap
Okay.
prices for it. If you go any lower than that, they will make more
No,
for scrapping.
that's fair enough. I get that.
So let's go in higher one.
Am I the only one who thinks buying a vehicle is like a
Buying
good
one
investment?
is the safer option due to the fact that we do know that Jawas are on this planet. And as soon as they see a parked vehicle of some sort.
So, the advantages of hiring. Cheaper. 50 credits, way cheaper. We can get out there and get back. But if we go out there, we need to leave someone with it. And it needs to be someone who can fight off a pack of Jawas. So it could be two people.
No, one person could be. Well, as long as it's occupied, they won't go near it.
Okay, so we have to at least leave someone
But
there.
the other flip side is, yeah, you got Jawas, but you've also got other criminals out there that, one person's not going to really scare them off.
Yeah, so we need to at least, if we hire a vehicle, we need to have at least 2 people with it at all times. Because we got to protect that, because we're going to be up for costs if that gets damaged or stolen. That we just simply can't afford.
Knowing some of these shady places, they probably know where the vehicle is, send out somebody to sort of rough up the vehicle a bit, so you end up having to pay.
Can I make a couple of phone calls?
You probably can.
I'd like to call the Davaronian. See whether or not he'd lend us a vehicle.
Well, you currently call him up. Let's see if he is.
Just, I'm asking for a favour. To see if he would lend us a vehicle.
That's a good check for that. I'll roll a force dice and see what happens.
You want double white?
Yeah.
Okay, so
You put on hold?
currently he is busy, and you can leave a message.
Okay.
It's got voicemail going.
Well, I leave a voicemail and cross my fingers.
Okay.
Do we know anyone else well enough to ask them if they'd lend us a vehicle? I think that's it. I think that's the only person we
don't
know.
know anybody.
No, we don't know anyone.
I know someone, but I don't
What
think
about
everybody
the
will
redhead? The recruitment redhead.
She's a pilot.
Yeah, but she
Well,
might have
you
a
can-
vehicle she's
you
willing to
can-
loan
you
us
can
if she
drive
thinks we
it.
might get us some recruits her way.
I know somebody who may help us, but we'll get shot at by the time we get to.
Who's that?
About this tall, Utini and Martini.
He's talking about Jawas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He reckons you could go to the Jawas and get
Are you
something
back
from
with us yet, Stefan?
Well, that's if
I
we take
believe
them
so,
along
I don't
with
know.
us.
you're
I
back with
asked
them.
you about whether or not you think we could convince...
Am I back with everyone? Okay, yep.
I asked you about whether or not you think we could convince the redhead to lend us a vehicle in exchange for us sending recruits her way.
Who you planning to send her way?
Recruits. Just people who look like they're already going to walk in anyway.
How are we going to promise this?
Well, we offer to advertise and do recruiting on her behalf if she lends us a vehicle for a few days.
I can see that happening badly.
It doesn't have to be a good vehicle.
This sounds like entering a contract with an Imperial.
We know nobody. We need a vehicle. We've got no money. Buying a vehicle seems to be half the group is against. Hiring a vehicle is very risky. This is another option that costs us no money, but might actually get us a vehicle. And people are going to join the Empire anyway, so we might as well just send them their way anyway.
Yeah, you can try if you want. Well, I'm not for... What's the polite way to put it?
Don't put it politely. It's all good.
Fraternising with the Imperials.
Well, I don't really want to
Okay.
fraternise with them either, but do we have a lot of choices?
Well, the other option is, since your family is great in getting stuff, why don't you get us a speeder?
Okay.
You're a scavenger?
I'll go and pay 50 credits to hire the speeder for the week.
Oh, God, no!
It's alright, it's under his name.
You sign out with no problems.
I'll pay the 50 credits I got from gambling.
So yes, you now have a speeder. It's all
Okay.
nice and shiny. It has.
Is it going to
the-
take 6 people?
It will take 10.
Okay. Alright.
It's the deluxe family model.
Just so you know, if that thing gets damaged, I'm not helping you out with that.
I'm not expecting you to. I'm not paid for it.
Yeah.
If it gets damaged, you can rub out the marks.
If it gets damaged, that's on you.
Don't you mean I'm supposed to do that?
No, I paid for it.
No. When you
And
rub up.
you guys are hitching a ride, so you know.
So yeah, you've been given the keys and all that sort of stuff and the run through of it.
Yep.
It's a basically civilian mass transport vehicle.
Yep, I can drive this. I've got 2 in space. Planetary.
You got 2 in planetary.
Yep.
Cool.
I'm the backup pilot.
Well, it looks like I'm the backup
Who's
pilot.
the pilot?
Well, you're the trained pilot,
Sorry?
and Piper's the natural pilot.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Piper.
Yeah.
So Piper didn't need to train. Neither did some of the others.
But Piper now can train.
Not really. Unless you want to go through the whole thing.
No. He's now got two yellow.
Yes.
But that means that Piper can get
that
one.
wasn't what
Isn't
we
it?
were saying.
Oh.
It's not him. It's the group. If he's better than the group.
Oh, so the entire group needs.
Yep.
I thought it only needed to be at least one.
Nope.
Holy shit!
It is a big bonus.
Mm.
Well, yes, you just have to choose when you want to give that bonus up. Okay, so you have this nice vehicle. It's very easy to drive.
Cool.
It almost drives itself.
Sounds like
That's
it's got its onboard
a bit
computer.
concerning, but okay.
Well,
Can I
basically,
check for an onboard computer?
it has an onboard computer, but it doesn't actually have automatic driving. It just has all the driver assist technology.
So
Okay.
it's got everything
Alright.
except for AI.
So
Because AI is sort of this approval of this planet.
can I tell if this speeder is going to try and counteract my driving?
It will enhance your driving,
Oh, that's
So
not
it
a bad
has
thing.
lane-
as it gives you
says-
bonuses to driving.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
brake
So actual
assist.
enhance. We're not talking
ADS.
enhance. We're talking enhance.
It's not the degrading your
Boost
driving to
enhance.
make it safer.
Right.
It
Yeah.
actually gives you
Okay.
bonuses.
So what
Right,
we can
cool.
afford to buy.
Yeah.
But we have to give it back.
And it has that nice new car smell to it.
I'm
That only has one radio station.
yep.
Imperial.
No, it's the local DJ from the Deveronian.
Yeah, but the other one-
Oh
remember?
yeah. Yep. Okay.
Apparently, his company owns the place that leases out vehicles.
Driver picks a radio station. Same. Never mind.
So far, should
Well,
really
there are
think
about
about
5 different
investing in that.
channels, but they're all the same station.
This just reminds me, when I was on vacation, my dad was driving, everybody was in the car, and we were in middle of nowhere in Hawaii kind of thing, and he turns the radio station and it's like some kind of like house music, like boots and cuts, and he tries to change it. He's like, it goes back to the first one, and he's like, wow, all these stations are playing the same song. It's just one station. We got so mad. It was so funny.
That's hilarious.
It was.
Some people do things like that.
But that's something that.
But he did it like 3 times. And he's
Yeah.
like, they're all playing the same song.
The
It's like,
funny
oh my
thing
God.
is my dad's likely to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And they're all at the same point of the music too. That's just so weird.
Yeah. It was just.
So yeah, it's all,
it's same thing happens with this.
But they do have different songs here and there. There are
Yeah.
5 distinct stations, but
So
they're
what-
all by the same company.
What was the song?
Some kind of house music. So
Oh,
boots and
okay,
cats,
yeah.
boots and cats, boots and cats. That
Yeah.
song.
They all sound the same after a while.
Yeah.
They do.
So yes, you have a great experience driving that out into the country.
Alright.
Okay.
What time of day is it?
It is midday.
Okay.
By the time you do this.
Have we been able to look at some sort of version of geo maps or something like that to look at the...
Well, the car has this great in-map feature.
Okay.
And you're able to look at zoom in and stuff on that better than the stuff you found in the barracks where you were working.
Does this car have a search engine?
It does.
Can we do a search on the governor's father?
You find his farm listed on the locations.
Phone number?
Doesn't have a phone number. It says it's unlisted.
Okay, fair enough.
Does have a warning about crossing certain boundaries.
Okay.
And this warning comes up about liability of the insurance doesn't cover crossing boundary lines.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
Okay.
Can I see any place that would be good to, like any good sort of hiding or
Neighbour.
Yeah, can I see neighbours?
There are
Can I
about 3
see-
neighbours around him that seem to have adjoining connections to him.
Rather than all 6 of us go up and approach, do we want to drop a couple of people off at one neighbour, and then drop a couple of people off at another neighbour, and then 2 of us approach the 3rd neighbour, and we do some conversations, canvassing? Do we want to? Does that sound good to people?
Are we able to cross-reference the zones we're not supposed to go into?
Yep. It's listed quite obviously, and even comes up on your heads-up display while you're driving.
Okay.
Basically showing that it's probably about a K into the guy's property where there's this do not cross area.
So who wants to pair up with whom?
Alright, okay. Well, we don't want to go...
Is there any hills nearby overlooking the father's farm?
As much as you'd like to say yes, this place is mostly a very large rolling plain.
Yeah.
It's one of the flattest planets you've been on.
If he's a sniper, that's where you want to put yourself.
And his building's right in the middle of the highest point in the area.
Yeah, he plays that.
We're fucked. Alright. Shall we...
Can I see it from one of the neighbours' houses?
No, it's because you can probably see it with your binoculars, but it is
that's what I'm doing.
About
I've got my macro binoculars with
about
me.
10k away.
So are we dropping pairs off at each of the neighbours? And who's going with whom?
I think we probably only you could just stay in the vehicle and just go up and ask them.
Well, it does save more time, and I don't think 6 people approaching an
only 2
isolated
people.
farm.
Only 2 people need a phone.
But they'll see 6 people in
2 people can just approach, and the others can just wait in the car.
Yeah, they won't be able to see in the car.
They can't see. It's not like an open speeder. I don't know what these vehicles look like.
Think a tinted window almost.
Okay, so
sort of thing.
it won't be obvious as 6 people approaching them. All right,
With heavy
well,
weapons, no.
we can do it that way. It'll take more time, but we can do it that way.
Okay. So you pull up at the first place. They have a everyone welcome sign over their gates, and they have apparently some sort of Apple industry going here.
Okay. Well, who wants to interview the people?
I think Piper would probably like to go and see if she can get some samples.
Of apple?
Apple
Or-
cider.
Cider.
Of the cider.
So we'll leave Piper in the car. Is there anyone who wants to go and talk to these?
Yeah, I'll have a wander up.
Well,
Okay.
you could go as interviewees, asking about the neighbour if you wanted. No, not interviewees, interviewers.
Well,
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah,
But
interview
I'm
about,
asking if someone
the
other than
neighbour.
me would like to do some
But
stuff in
you
the
have
game.
the credentials as the main
We all
interviewer.
have, like, 3 of us have credentials.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, you all have credentials,
Yeah.
okay.
And I thought you were one of them, actually.
Yeah, you are.
Technically, yes.
Yep.
You were that cameraman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but technically you have press credentials as well. So, and rather
Well, I
than
don't,
monopolising the game and the role playing, I was offering for other people to have a go at it.
I wasn't trying to monopolise.
No, I didn't say that you were. I said other than me trying to monopolise. Like, I'm not trying to, but I have done a lot of talking so far this game. So I was offering other people the opportunity to role play if they wanted to.
What was that do?
Yep.
Would it not be wise to have, the same interviewer out, and then we have someone else in the studio? I know you can't see, I'm just doing air quotes between studio.
So you're saying that I should go in because I was the face before?
Yeah, you may as well.
Yep.
I reckon you two should go in. The reason is because if we drop you off Oh no, because we're waiting for you to get back.
I
in the
thought
car,
you were all
aren't we?
waiting in the car.
Oh,
I
yeah,
did
that's
suggest
right.
dropping people off
Yeah.
because I thought that might be faster. Because then we can interview 3 people
It's still-
roughly at the same time.
But
Well,
still,
it
you've
would
still
be
got to come back
picking
round
up
to get whoever,
10,
to get everyone.
10k, 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 and then having to do it all again versus having to go all together, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So
As it's midday, I just was trying to fit more in, but that's okay. 10k is... I don't know if that's a lot of petrol. He said that it goes really fast, so...
Oh yeah, no, I'm not thinking petrol. I'm thinking
repulsors.
just time to travel, kind of thing. If you're doing it 2 times.
But isn't
versus-
it, like, fast, the thing?
It is fairly fast, yes.
Okay.
So if it's, like, fast, is that
Then
actually...
that doesn't affect time then.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's
understand.
why I was thinking it's midday. If we want to spend, say, at least an hour interviewing the neighbours, do we want to spend 3 separate hours? Or do we want to, you know...
Do it all at once.
do it all at once?
Yeah.
That might be best.
Like, as a efficiency type thing.
Yeah, if you want. I mean, you two could interview the first neighbour,
Mm.
then I can
Mhm.
drive the other 2 to
the next one.
the
The
next
next
one,
one.
and I can be with them because I have my credentials if
Yeah.
they ask to see
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So we have to pair off one person with credentials, one not
Yeah.
for each
Mhm.
one.
But if we all do it together and we just leave 4 in the car while 2 of us go in.
Let's do pairs.
Pairs?
Yeah.
Okay. So who's got the credentials?
Yeah,
Me,
yeah,
Us
Stefan,
3,
and
I
you?
think. Isn't it us
Not
3?
not me.
Not you, okay.
Was it
Uh,
Vaughn?
I was also going to say
Vana
that,
doesn't.
you know, obviously you don't need,
Not Piper.
with each
Coloured. Coloured,
um,
yeah.
person, we've only got one camera, don't we?
But we don't need to film them for an interview for background information. We can tell them we're going to send a camera over later. We could take just straight photos if we've got like the equivalent of a smartphone with us. And say, you know, we're just doing stills for this article rather than footage. So we don't have to have the camera with us. In fact, some of them might be reticent to be on camera.
True.
Depends on their business. And if they really want video footage, we can say, well, you know, we'll set up a time for the actual footage to take place after the interview, so that, you know, it's smoother. You know, it's a smoother process. Better to do all the footage in one go than stop and start through an interview. So, you know, we've got ways to answer that. And I think if Stefan's got credentials and Ross has got credentials, maybe you and Ross could go to the second one, and maybe Stefan and Piper, because they tend to team up a lot, could go to the third one, and Kesley and I'll do the
first one.
first one.
Yeah.
And
Those who've got yeah.
yep, and
I'll be back in a sec. Just got to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
since these farms are like probably selling produce, we probably want to buy a little bit. Like, we can't afford lots, but it'll certainly make them more amenable to talking if we buy a few apples, or maybe a bottle of cider for Piper to keep her going.
Okay, so you pull into this first one.
Yep.
As you come in, you see they've got a building not far from the entrance that there is labelled the Apple Inn,
Okay, so it's an actual inn.
and it looks like more of a tavern sort of place. You can see
Okay.
that there's a bunch of speeder bikes, civilian style ones parked out front,
Thank
as
God
well
they're not
as-
biker bikes.
as well as a couple of probably rural land speeders, so
Okay.
the sort of stuff you'd carry produce on, sort of things, parked here. And you can hear music playing from there, and the road continues on up into the actual estate itself.
Okay, so do we want to stop at the inn first, or do we want to...
Inn could have information because it has not only neighbors who might have stumbled onto
Yep,
the wrong
property.
land, but
Yep.
also would have some kind of worker from the estate
Mm.
that can talk about the neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so we head into the tavern?
Okay, you head in. Door is manual. You actually have to push it open. One of the
Okay.
first manual doors you've actually had to use in a long while.
I
Fair
look at
enough.
it weird.
It's just like you walk into it and it's like, yeah. And then it pulls you back again. Yeah, walk past, let go.
How old are we roughly?
You'd probably be in your 20s.
Have we ever seen a manual door?
You've seen manual doors, it's just you don't deal with them very often.
Okay.
It's like it's the sort of thing that you see on movies and stuff you don't actually see in real life.
I am then amused by the novelty.
Because just about everywhere you go, it's that you push a button, the door just slides in. Or slides up, or slides down, or slides somewhere.
This is interesting. Is there a bar?
There is a bar there. There's tables. They're actually serving food.
Okay.
This
is
place.
The food expensive?
The food seems to be. They don't actually have prices up anyway.
Oh, okay.
So that means yes.
What was that?
I was going to say, so that means yes. If there's a price, then yes.
If there's no prices, it means we can't afford it.
And you don't see anyone handing money across as people are being served stuff.
Interesting. Could be a barter system. I approach the bar and introduce myself.
As you approach the bar, you see a really nice looking heavy blaster hanging above the bar. It looks like the sort of thing you would see on a shock trooper.
Okay.
Basically heavy infantry.
And
it looks like it's seen a lot of use.
Suppress.
It looks like about 50 odd years.
My envy.
This looks like something from the Clone Wars.
Yeah. These guys are probably all served in the Clone Wars.
That could be our angle.
Yep.
Could be interviewing Clone War.
One thing you notice is just about every guy here looks the same.
Okay, so they are probably clones. Okay, fair enough. Retired clones. Guessing.
Yeah, well, they all look to be in their 60s, 70s.
Okay, so they're
Retired
civvies. Yeah. Okay. Well, I introduce myself to the bartender.
He greets you and says, "Would you like a drink?"
I tell him that I am a lowly interviewer and I don't have much of an income. How much does drink cost?
Tell us a story. Hand you a drink.
Okay, I will happily tell you a story. I tell him about my bounty that we just caught without the pants.
He laughs.
Yeah, to amuse him. I tell it in an amusing fashion.
Did you include the bit about the civilian getting shot in the back of the head?
No.
Okay.
No, I left all those bits out.
Or the part that he's now a stormtrooper?
Just that he doesn't have pants.
In training.
I explain that I'm newly formed part of a news sort of thing, and we're trying to do articles that have more humanity in them, and we've developed an interest from our own relations and family backgrounds in veterans and the kind of experience and the stories that aren't getting passed down along anymore, and that we want them to be appreciated and that sort of thing, and we're looking to interview a few people who'd be willing to talk about their experiences.
They're sort of, thinking of, it's not really something we talk about, they say. We're happy to be away from that sort of thing.
Would you be willing to share some views on farming life and
we're not that good at farming.
Well, you've got the apples and the cider here, how does that work?
Well, we managed to work here picking apples.
Okay, so is that run by the estate up there, and you guys just pick apples, or
we pick apples and work off the farms around here.
Okay.
Work with the various landowners.
Do you work with all of the neighbors around here?
Yeah, fairly much. They're all fairly agreeable sorts. They just don't like too many questions asked.
Oh, I see. As we've been interviewing, have you worked with the farmer Montcurl before?
Oh yeah, he's a good sort. Just he doesn't like people asking questions.
Oh, does he?
He shot down a starfighter recently, so government officials were trying to question him about that, but he shot them too.
So do you think he'll be interested in an interview at all?
Probably not. You walk on it for camera, he'll probably shoot that first.
Oh, well, we're not interested in necessarily going on with the camera, but we've heard he's got a really nice gun collection, and that's definitely something we could appreciate.
Well, he's been a fan of guns for many years.
Oh, I've heard he's award-winning.
I've never seen anyone better.
Oh, this is sounds like a very admirable person. You know, is he not open to sharing some of his experience and tips, or?
He thinks for a bit and goes, probably, but he's a bit ruffled about someone crashing a ship on his land.
Yeah, I'd be ruffled about someone crashing a ship on my land too. So I can kind of see where he's coming from.
He claims salvage rights.
Well, yeah, I could see why you would do that too.
Though the government doesn't like the fact he shot the pilot.
I can see how the pilot might object to that.
He's not objecting anymore.
No, he certainly wouldn't be. Kind of like that guy without his pants.
Yeah. Yeah. Does he ever hang out with all of you?
Occasionally, just he really is that much that loner sort of guy with that slight twitch. Who you don't want to see in a dark alley.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Starting to wonder if it's better to just go in as bounty hunters.
Well, they used to do planetary security.
Planetary security. Now, why does that ring a bell?
Well, he taught most of the security forces of the planet, so none of the security forces will go near him.
Well, I could appreciate that. I wouldn't want to go against my mentor if they taught me the value of how to survive and use weapons.
And apparently he had something recently that's made him slightly crazy.
Like a food or an illness?
No idea. No one's made any sense out of him for about a week.
Oh, a week? Okay. Was that when the crash happened?
No, the crash happened after that.
Okay.
Think he got a little, crazy in the head and shot the plane down.
Oh, okay. So
Gotcha.
could be he's possibly being like poisoned, or not
Maybe.
poisoned, but someone's maybe put him under the influence or something. Or
And a bunch of heavies tried to muscle their way onto the farm and it didn't work out well.
why did they try to muscle their way onto the farm?
Well, he's only a farmer.
Yeah. I though he doesn't seem to produce a lot. Do you actually pick apples for him?
He's got nothing that grows on his land.
Yeah. He seems to. His primary interest seems to be weapons. And being an amateur enthusiast myself, I can understand his passion.
Well, he was one of the weapons designers for one of the companies that were here many years ago.
Oh wow, that's impressive. So I gather he's retired from that, or
Well, he's definitely against the new laws that say he can't do that anymore.
you're
I
not
would imagine why.
Yeah.
Well, he's also got the additional laws that he has to hand in all these guns.
Yeah. I don't suppose.
Yeah, he's quite angry about that.
How do you guys feel about that? You
I'd like to see them
retired.
try to take the weapons away. That'd just be funny.
I'm like, that's a very impressive piece up there. Like, I have to admit, I'm quite envious of a weapon like that. Does that belong to the owner of the tavern? And
I used to belong to a separatist.
a separatist, okay. As a
Worthy
player,
opponent.
what's a separatist?
That's
versus
the
a
people who
publicist?
led the droid armies.
Droid armies. So they were
Count Dooku's people.
bad peoples.
No, they were just the opposite side of the war.
Okay, alright, fair enough. Okay, so
That one there really isn't any. They wanted to leave the
Bureaucracy.
because the bureaucracy was corrupt.
oh, okay, I kind of see the point in
They
that.
were wrong.
They just went the wrong way round.
Can you think of anything that might be worth asking him?
Couldn't be helped that you're being manipulated by a Sith Lord.
Does anybody bring him? Has anybody been able to bring him anything?
Well, he normally gets a food shipment that's due tomorrow, but the person's not willing to drive up because, well, he shot at everyone else.
Who usually does this food shipment?
Oh, the woman who runs this place here.
Oh, well,
She's in the back cooking.
I'm quite short of funds right now. I'd be willing to do it for a small amount of money that might make it worth her while to have it delivered, and so she can get paid.
No, she doesn't get paid. She just, gets he just fixes some of her stuff.
Oh, well, for a meal, I'd be willing to do it.
Sure.
If she's
willing to talk,
if she's willing to chat with us about the details,
I'm sure she will.
I'd be happy
Hey,
to
pull up a stool, have another drink. Dink.
Thank you. All right.
Okay,
Hopefully she'll come out and talk to
while
us.
you're having the drink, we have the next
Yep.
one. So Ross.
Is that Ross and Bunya?
Yeah.
Yep.
You find yourself dropped at a farm gate with a pathway leading off into the distance, just dirt.
Okay. Taking audio recording. So
do we know how far away the
house
homestead
is? The house is about 4 k's up the road.
Okay, so any sign saying no trespassers will be shot, or
No, it says farm hands welcome.
Please don't touch the minefield.
Mine the minefield.
No, you do look behind you, and you do see a sign saying minefield this way. And you know what? You know that's the property with that in that area you're not supposed to drive into.
No, yep. Good to know.
Most of his property is surrounded by a minefield. Not
Hey.
all of it's signed.
Hey, that's one way you can get some money. Pinch all the mines.
yeah.
Sure.
Hey, we got some mines we just.
You can
acquired.
sweep
Really
them. I'll
fun.
stand far over here.
I'm sure you can go out into the middle of the open and dig one up.
Oh, I've got the scanner goggles. and
Just
all
hit
that
it
stuff
once
already.
with your spade to disarm it. You'll be fine.
So the scanner goggles allow you to see at night. That's all it does. Gives you low light.
No,
low
what
night
this-
vision.
I've got
Scanner
the-
goggles don't give you a
No, I've got the general purpose scanner.
Yes, that's different.
I've got all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, go through the gate.
That's the
and
goal
wander
of
up
the
to the.
Oh, that's awesome. Does anyone want to mind Gogru? No, just me.
Yeah, I'll have one.
Okay, you'll mind
Oh,
Gogru. Technically, on Friday, this is yours. We get a little backpack to stick him in.
Do it.
Okay, so you spend about a couple of hours walking up the road, and you find out the whole place is, lights are off. No one seems to be answering the door.
Oh, it was still in the middle of the day.
Yeah, there's no lights
Oh.
on. The doors are shut. You'd spend a couple of hours walking up.
Yeah.
Does it actually have a view of these? As the neighbour? I should
Not
say
much
his
of it.
place.
You can see that there are a couple of towers around his property.
Towers.
Towers.
Raised towers.
Okay, like as in viewing towers. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You guys
there'll
could,
probably be security cameras or something like that there.
I was going to say you couldn't climb up.
No, you have to get in. You have to go past the minefield to get to the towers.
Oh, there's a minefield
Yeah.
at the neighbour's place.
Mm-hmm.
No,
The neighbour that's not been reported for shooting people.
No, the border. It's his fence line.
Oh, it's his fence line. So what about the actual neighbours?
There's no one there. I reckon they might be getting pissed at the Apple place.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so Stefan, you drive up to the last place,
Oh yeah, with
Piper.
Piper.
and it appears to be a winery.
Oh no.
Of course it is.
You better put those binders on.
It's how your luck goes. And they've got this sign saying free samples.
You better put the binders on.
You can't.
Can't. How can I interview with someone in binders?
And-
What am I,
and-
what
and
am I
they-
interviewing them for? A
And,
kink fest?
and
Oh,
they
it's
do
George,
have
yeah.
a current job opening as wine taster.
Well, we've lost Piper, that's it. We no longer have her as a member of our family.
No, it just means Piper's staying the night. That's all. That's fine.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. We'll head on in.
So you wander in. There's about 30 odd people here tasting wine. There's a couple of fancy vehicles here.
Oh, is that for the microphone?
No, but you're touching the microphone. and there's a few high-profile looking vehicles.
Okay.
And as you come in, there's this woman with red hair that's familiar.
Tom Piper, we're leaving.
And she sees you, and she calls you over and offers you a drink.
God damn it. Piper, go take the drink from her.
Even Piper heads over.
And so now you've got no standards with Piper.
No.
You were criticising me earlier for having no standards
He
with
will
Piper.
not take a drink from her.
Yeah.
He won't
I'm-
take a drink from her.
I'm not going to take any drink from
No, I
Imperium.
know, but why are you handing it to a Piper?
Because he's got nowhere
Piper
to put
doesn't
it.
care.
And
But then you're going to have a very drunk Piper.
he's gonna get
No,
a drunk
I will
fight.
have a Piper who is knowing what they're doing. We'll deal with the consequences tomorrow, but they'll be on the ball game while they're drunk.
And they bring out whole cheese platters and other sort of things to go with the wine tasting.
At least make sure Piper's got food in her tummy.
Yes, I'll make sure.
And
that,
Yeah.
Piper's following the drinks and the cheese platters
Just
around.
direct her towards the cheese
Yep.
platter first before you let her
And
go
don't
off
forget
after
there's
the
apples just to clear the palate.
yeah, I'll make sure Piper Trine has a rule of a cheese followed by
2 cheese, followed by.
yeah, so they have some kind of food in them.
And so while you're there watching, you see Piper start commenting on the various wines. And people seem to be all nodding it away as your pipe seems to be making sense. It makes up.
I don't suppose they give you no tips at all.
And then you've got people writing down everything Piper's saying.
Oh, well, the thing is, they're family of alcoholics, so yeah, they probably know a bit.
Yeah, Piper would. This is where Piper,
Piper would
know
probably know,
best.
but it'd be cool if she was getting tips for all her advice.
I don't know.
You go towards the rental.
So after about 10 minutes of all this, they present her with a bottle from the winery as for such great service.
Could you intercept that bottle and put it in your?
It's got a big bow around it and everything.
Yeah, intercept that. Take care of that for her.
Apparently, she's got one of the best palates at the actual tasting.
Okay.
Are you
enough.
guys going to actually interview anyone?
I'm trying to work out who the owner is because all I'm seeing is clients right now.
And you're seeing people serving stuff going
Yeah.
around, but all the serving staff all look like the same old guy.
Clones.
They all look like the same old guy.
Yeah, they're all 70-year-old
Oh,
clones.
okay. Alright. Can I ask one of them who owns this establishment?
He says, "Yes, you can." He says. Then he walks off.
You fell for it.
Don't you just hate smart-ass clones?
Piper.
You see him smirking to himself as he walks off.
That's fine. Piper, can you ask who the boss is here and ask him to come down to the floor?
Okay, so as you're doing that, Piper goes off and asks, and then you find this guy in white military dress come towards you. He's familiar.
God,
White
no, it's
military.
Admiral.
Yeah, the admiral's bought the winery.
Of course he is.
Oh, he bought the winery.
Yeah. So you're asking for work? Weren't you part of other details? He says.
Yes, but we're currently... Oh, can't think of the word.
Reconnoitering?
No, we're currently surveying the premises.
Surveying
outer-
the area.
Surveying the area.
It's a quite nice area. This place is very secure. No crime happens in this space whatsoever.
Well, with all the open plains, I'm not surprised.
And the neighbour's quite good at keeping crime rates low.
Which neighbour?
He points towards the one with the landmines.
Is this that old war veteran?
Are there no bounties that we can bring in that aren't going to offend anyone?
No.
No, probably not.
They're all bloody likeable.
The old war veteran?
Yeah, he is a bit of an old coot, but apparently he's going to be crazy lately, so he's starting to shoot at things that don't need to be shot at.
You know what I think?
So we might have to do something about that soon.
What are you going to do?
Well, if you shoot it from orbit, it's safest.
You're going to do what from orbit?
You said just shoot it from orbit, it's safer.
With what? An orbit to planetary missile?
No, just a turbo laser would take
Alright.
out the building.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Being nuke the site from orbit is the only way to be sure.
Knock out all his technology, and then he's got nothing he can do.
Or
Wouldn't that be a waste of ammo on him?
Not really.
But
Not
this
for an iron
change
cannon.
in him has only been a week old. I suspect that something's caused the change. some catalyst. Either he's been, like, mind controlled or poisoned in some way or something.
Okay.
Something's driven, up until now he's had a steady record. He hasn't been very friendly. He hasn't killed anyone until a week ago.
You could ask
Yeah, but I don't know
Have you seen any
because
space wizards?
That's
involved?
your interaction in the other place. I don't know that yet through this interaction.
Well, that's our understanding from the research we did the night before too.
Yeah, from
From the night before.
from the understanding of our bounty and our research,
Okay.
he hasn't been hostile up until a week ago.
Yeah,
But
it's
the other
all
articles
new.
are all missing.
Yeah, so all the other
Right.
articles are missing, so
Okay.
we are not 100% sure, but all evidence we have so far indicates that.
Alright. And how soon were you thinking of
Assuming we also know that he is a crack shot
using our
and he is a war veteran. So it's not that he hasn't killed before, it's just that he hasn't been openly hostile up until a week ago.
Right, okay.
He says that I probably will wait and see what happens to your crew before I do anything. Having heard that you've taken up the bounty.
Yes, we were curious about his
So I'll take a wait and see moment, and once you die, then we'll make him promote it.
Well, we're investigating the causes.
Thank you for the
Well, I have a backup plan.
Yeah, ion cannon. Yeah, detonate.
Yes, well now I know what the
But the problem is it
backup plan
won't
is.
affect slug throwers, so if he's using...
But it would take out his entire minefield.
Yeah, unless he's gone...
Depends on how far the minefield is from his
Oh,
house.
no, the thing is, unless he's gone old school, and it's all mechanical
6Ks.
mines.
Something dark side?
6Ks. So
6Ks.
he has
Yeah.
a 6K wall.
And if he's that paranoid, he's probably got both.
Probably. But they have ways of dealing with other types.
Yeah, aerial burst gets rid of it.
Do we have any medical knowledge in our group?
I've got a backpack.
don't think so.
I don't think we do.
I've got a backpack.
Oh, there's suspicion that this could be.
I'll
I have the medical pack,
Yeah.
and I've also got stim packs.
I don't know if that's going to help if this guy's being, like, drugged in some
Well,
manner.
we can make a drug that'll make him happy with the stem packs and that.
Yeah.
I will
I got a good Naboo whiskey.
ask him if he has any mind scanning equipment.
Not available for learn at this stage. They've got that all prepped for if they need to go in and deal with things themselves.
Okay, that's fair. Yep.
Though they are currently utilising some of their gear to make sure nothing here was booby trapped. Because he did previously own this farm.
Oh, so he may have left gifts for the new owner.
Yes, that's what they're checking.
Right, okay.
I wonder how long ago it got sold.
What is his range from here to his estate?
How far he can shoot?
No, sorry, what's the distance from here to his estate?
From this building to his building is probably about 8k, but to his border is probably about 3k.
Okay, yep. And he's got a range of about 1 to 2k.
He should be on that.
He can shoot beyond that. What's the furthest he's shot?
On record, 6k.
Not on record?
Not on record, you don't want to know.
Right. Okay.
Actually, you do, but yeah.
Well, if a macro... I should say, if an electro binoculars can go up to 10 kilometres away.
So apparently someone got shot in the background.
Yeah.
What happened?
Cat.
A cat.
Oh.
A cat wanted the keyboard.
Oh, okay. You got ambushed by a predator.
Yeah, so we got attacked by a cat.
Technically, they're predators. They're very small, cute predators, but technically they're predators. This one wouldn't know how to hunt to save his life, but...
He does, he goes up to someone and says, "Feed me."
Yeah, that's how he hunts.
He hunts humans.
I'll ask him about the Starship incident.
Oh, apparently, few days ago he shot down a starship.
Imperium?
Just some guy who drifted out of the flight lane.
That was one of the other bounties, wasn't it?
Okay.
It was.
Interesting.
I
Does he
remembered
often
something from
shoot
last
down
game.
planes?
Not
planes,
that they've heard of before.
Right.
They're a little curious as to why he shot someone down and how he managed it with personal firearms.
Right. And does he have a weapon of choice?
Yes, a disruptor rifle.
Disruptor rifle. That's good to know.
What is a disruptor rifle?
So you know in the Mandalorian where he got annoyed with the Jawas
Mm.
and how they had turned to dust?
Is that disintegrating? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That really isn't an energy weapon.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm dead.
glorified slug thrower.
Cool.
So dead.
Awesome. I will.
Which would normally be illegal on a planet like this to begin with before the new laws comes in, he says.
Yes, well, you have to get in there to disarm him first. But I suppose if your backup is just to nuke him from orbit, then...
Yeah, not sure it's going to work because we have reports that he's got shielded bunker.
Oh.
I know one thing all though.
That kind of doesn't surprise me, actually, knowing his...
I was gonna say, knowing his background totally fits.
Yeah. Alright, well, we will try and do our best, and, hopefully we won't have to resort to the backup plan.
Well, he recommends, applying for his boot camp. Apparently he teaches people stuff, but the site keeps getting taken down.
His boot camp?
Yeah.
He runs a boot camp?
Yeah, but he hasn't been able to... No one's been able to find his site for a while. He does have a backup of the site, so he's happy to give you a copy of that.
Sure, I'll take that.
He hands you over a data crystal.
I'll take it and apply it to my data pad and back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I've got a spare copy.
It should have contact details.
Does he want that crystal back, or...?
Oh, no, he's fine. It's to spare.
Okay.
It's basically the opinion of it's been plugged into someone else's technology. He doesn't want it back.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
No, he would have already thought that already.
Ah, okay.
In case you accidentally install a virus on there and he gets it back into his system.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'll thank him for his time.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Just all good. We bought up the farms around him just to be safe.
Right. Did you buy the apple inn we drove past?
Yep. But we're letting the owners stay on as basically caretakers.
That's probably why
They're the one in the middle took the money and ran.
Okay.
Apparently it was their only chance to get away from whatever's happening.
Right.
Plus they did lose half their orchard to a crashing starship.
Oh, yes, right, so that's where that landed. Okay, yeah.
It sort of bounced through their orchard onto the main property.
Where do you think I'm going? What do you think I'm doing?
You're not doing fast enough.
And so
Kim,
the
what are
guy,
you doing? You're
the
doing
poor
wrong.
pilot had to get out in the middle of a
That's me.
minefield.
Yeah, that would be a bit drastic.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me. Well, thank you for that. I should tend to my friends.
Yep.
To ensure...
Says good luck. Though the ones walking up to the building might make it in the next hour or so. You're welcome to drive up and get them to save them the walk back.
Who's walking up to the building?
He gives you the IDs of your two friends.
Oh, so we're going to go pick them up. Okay, cool. Alright. I will let them know, and I'll grab Piper and head out.
And Piper's now got a block of cheese, an extra bottle of something, and a voucher for free drinks in town.
Yep, that's fine. Like, you've earned that, Piper. Good on you. Let's get the hell out of here. I'm gonna hop back in the vehicle and go and...
This is the reason why I didn't want to split up.
Yep.
I knew I would be
Oh,
taking
so
an hour walking up and walking back.
Okay, so
I like the one
as you
scene
been
thing
standing
now.
at the thing waiting for something, you turn around, the car just pulls up.
Yeah, depends on the mood he's in.
Okay, cool.
Right now he's very clingy.
No, this place is a loss. No one here.
Yeah, they
down,
kind of
you
ran
close it
away,
right in.
apparently.
Oh,
Can I
okay.
let go? Can you? Oh, thank you.
Yeah. He wants to join in.
Yeah, he does. So,
I give you Piper.
Not sure if it will make less sense or more sense some days. So, what does Piper do? Runs off.
She's a drink tester.
She's wearing cheese.
Yes, and when you get into the car, you see Piper has 2 bottles, a pile of cheese, and a bunch of vouchers.
Fart. I think you farted.
And the smell of alcohol.
I thought you were going to say the smell of cheese because the cat farted. We got squeezed him too tightly.
You just made him all nice and happy. He relaxed.
Yeah, he relaxed. All right.
Better now than later tonight.
Yeah, you're not sitting next to
Right,
him.
Joe?
Is he? Yeah, you're so happy.
So yes, they get into the car and you drive off back to the other place.
Yep, that's fine.
Want to run away? There you go.
So yes, you see the other 4 come into the bar.
Sorry.
Okay, all right.
Just as you had some meal delivered.
I introduced them as friends of mine.
But they give them each a meal.
Oh, that's very kind. Very nice. We all get to eat today.
Yep, and everyone gets a cider. Piper's very happy.
I was going to say, is Piper still standing?
Yep.
So, okay, alright.
Takes a lot for Piper to get dead drunk.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Especially since this cider's weak.
Yeah, Piper says the cider's weak, I'm going to smack Piper up the back of the head like a mum.
I have a feeling that Piper would probably say, you know what, if you did this, and this, you could probably improve it by X%.
Probably, and they probably wouldn't mind her saying that, I'd guess. They seem like people who don't mind having improvements made to their alcohol.
Well, they say they do that for their festive drinks, but
Yeah.
for their daily drinks, they keep it a little weaker.
Lighter. Yeah. Well, you want cider?
It's a refreshment instead of a event.
You're not allowed to have cider, you're too young.
So yes, you have a nice meal, and then a young woman of about 16 comes out of the kitchen.
16? Jesus Christ. Okay.
And she says, "So I hear you're going to be doing the food delivery tomorrow."
I heard you were having troubles with getting it delivered, and I haven't had a good meal in a while, and it was worth my while to do a barter.
Well, no messengers want to go there anymore.
Yeah, I hear
apparently
that.
their vehicles don't work.
Their vehicles don't work.
They got this whole problem.
Okay. So how is this
So what
delivery
do the-
usually made?
Not normally. Someone drives up, drops it at his door, and then leaves.
Okay, so is the supplies already on this vehicle, and
Oh, we hand them the box. They take it, and
so it's
Right
just
up.
one box?
just a box. It's
Oh.
his weekly food.
Okay, all right. What sort of things are in the weekly food?
Well, he likes cheese, cider. Definitely
Yeah.
likes his cider.
Yeah.
And he has various fruits and prepared meals that all he has to do is just hit a button and heat it up.
Okay, all right.
He's not a very good cook.
Okay.
He's good at making explosivs but not cooking.
Yeah. I can see how
what
that could
does
be a
a
problem.
disintegrator do to vehicles? I don't think it does anything.
Well, he only ever pulled that out as a showpiece. He never really liked to use it on people. He says he's seen enough
Is
to.
it actually legal to actually use it on people?
It's sort of illegal to own, she says. But he's got a lot of he's got a lot of hand waving from the security forces because, well, he trained them all.
Yeah, I can see what that would happen.
And he normally trains them regularly
So
and shows them how all the various weapons work.
How long have you been doing the delivery?
Oh, I've been cooking the meals.
Oh, you
normally.
cook the meals,
Yeah.
okay. And who normally does the delivery? The courier?
Any courier who's looking for work.
Okay, alright, yep. Has he ever shot any couriers in the past?
Not normally. He normally ignores them.
Okay, alright.
Unless, of course, they're picking stuff up.
Is there a signal or some sort of comm traffic that frequency we actually need to use to say, oh, we're delivering your food?
No, they just drive up, drop the box, and leave. He likes to not talk to people.
Okay.
He's not a very talkative person.
If you were to talk to someone, what sort of person might he talk to?
He talks to some of the farmhands.
Okay.
They all seem to know him quite well.
Okay. Well, it's a shame we don't look like a 70-year-old clone.
Also talks to the security forces.
Okay.
Are you going to tell us about the boot camp?
Once this conversation's over, yes.
Shit,
Well, I'll let you finish your meal and I'll come back later. She
Sure.
says.
Thank you.
She heads
what
off to-
time is the delivery made? Just
Oh,
quickly.
normally not long after sunrise.
Okay, alright, so we've got to do it first thing in the morning, so not a lot of time to plan. Yeah, I'd suggest we don't go in dressed as bounty hunters or as officials. Probably best as dressed as farmers.
Where are we going to get the farmer gear from?
We could possibly borrow some clothes off the people here.
Where's the letters?
They might be agreeable to letting us borrow some clothes. Especially if we approached the girl and said, look, we don't want to alarm him. So, you know, do they have any old farm gear that we could borrow for the delivery?
That.
You know? And I would suggest at most two of us do the actual delivery. Because if he sees more than that, he's going to take him down.
If we could have our one male
Mm.
do the delivery along with somebody else.
Okay.
Probably our youngest girl, because he seems to like the 16-year-old cook. Like, as in, he
That
seems
might
to
be-
be amenable.
That might be Vanya.
Vanya? Yeah.
I think she might be the youngest.
I think she is, so yeah, that's probably...
Because I'm pretty sure I'm the oldest.
Yeah, I think you're the oldest, and I'm pretty sure Vanya's the youngest.
Yeah.
Vana
You're
actually
the
goes and
youngest?
spells out her name again. It's V-A-N-N-A.
Oh, okay. I thought it was V-A-N-Y-A. Sorry.
I keep mispronouncing
Vana.
it, but people get used to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've written it with a Y at some stage for some reason. I apologise.
Because I mispronounce it.
Probably. Yeah.
I would apologise for that, except I can't help it.
No, you can't. You've mispronounced things all your life.
Okay, so. Stefan, did you want to mention what you came across?
Yes, once we're not in earshot of the clone troopers, I would like to mention to the group that the Admiral has purchased the surrounding lands, as I spoke to him at the vineyard, as he now owns the vineyard.
You now know where they're getting all their free drinks from.
Yes. And they are planning to orbital strike the estate from orbit if we mess up. So there's kind of a time limit?
Kind of.
Yes.
There's definitely a time limit.
Well, they're ready.
Yeah, they're ready at any
I'm gonna
time.
take a look at the bounty again, so, you know, whatever, and
They want
can I
you
see you
alive.
actually placed there?
Okay, so. It was placed by the governor's office, considering it actually listed no lasting harm as part of the capture. Which means no wounds, no damage, nothing that is beyond bruising and
Roughing up.
yeah, simple medical care.
Oh, I'll also mention the boot camp files and hand them over to our techie, whoever that is. And that he runs a boot camp
You
occasionally,
realise if you're sitting on it, I can't play with you with it.
so it might be an alternate route to get close to him.
Yeah, I don't think he minds how he's playing with it as long as he's getting played with.
Yeah, I just figured rather than him yelling, I would give him a bit of attention.
Okay. I'll have a look at the boot camp.
Okay, it appears to be an equivalent of special forces training.
Cool. Interesting.
And it basically is prerequisite for most people who want to apply for the planetary security. So people who get this then get a chance to apply for planetary security.
Okay, I've just worked out how he's doesn't have to worry about the guns and that, because he's still probably classed as planetary security. Cool. Is there any contact details?
Oh yeah, it has his number, has his personal electronic mailbox, has the address where you can leave a data crystal, which is basically at a box outside his property.
Apparently the site keeps
So
going.
how do you put in applications?
You basically fill out a form on his website and send it through.
Cool. I'll start filling that out.
You see that the site doesn't actually exist at the moment.
Yeah, the site keeps going down.
Yeah, but
Whether
Could we use the contact details? Call him, say we are delivering your food tomorrow. We are interested in your boot camp.
Okay, you can do that.
What do you guys think?
Sure.
Yeah, we wish to talk. Us boot camp, this guy sounds like...
Please turn off your minds on no food.
The boot camp doesn't sound like it would, like, we could gain skills from that anyway.
Yeah.
We aren't the best of the best as far as bounty hunters go, so I reckon if he's willing to give out training, then...
The question is, how long is the training?
Training normally goes for about...
that is the question.
Normally goes for about 3 to 6 months and goes from endurance training to weapons training to survival training.
We don't want this guy as a bounty, I'm telling you that much.
No, he'd be great for the clan for a teacher.
Yeah. I suppose
But
we
the first thing is we need to work out what the hell's going on, and if we can get him after
I'm saying,
we
use it as an in.
Yeah,
with
and
him.
then I'm thinking some sort of medical attention maybe. Because this sounds like it's very out of character for him. So whether he's being
Also,
mind something or...
Could we try and see if we could hire him up, to train some more hunters, so he's in and we get to break him out or something like that? Get him to a place where, his skills could be useful, but not damaging to everybody else.
I think that this has been only a very recent thing for him, and that it's probably either he's been drugged in some way or mind controlled in some way. We just have to figure out what that is, because this is a very definite change in his personality.
Yeah.
He's never been hostile to anyone before, so I'd say we try and figure out what's caused this change, and if we can fix it. And then I think the reason for the bounty would kind of be nullified. We can hand him in and they'll release him once they give him an okay check.
Well, you'd expect that the bounty is to bring him in safely for a reason.
Yeah. Like, the bounty is definitely to bring him in alive and as unharmed as possible, so...
It's likely, since it's coming from the governor's office, it's a bounty to bring him in so that he can get medical
attention. Yeah, that'd be what I'd be thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the approach would be, like, maybe use, as Kesley and Ross were thinking, use the boot camp as an inn,
as a way to lure him out of the house as we're doing the food delivery.
Yeah.
So that we can get him, capture him.
Yep.
Bring him in.
Yep. Maybe stun him.
I got a med kit, so would that be able to, check him for psychotropics, etc.?
Maybe.
It doesn't give you a huge amount of stuff. It's not a replacement for a doctor.
I'd say stun him, get him into a vehicle, get him to medical centre. We've got stun guns, don't we?
We have blasters that have stun settings.
Yeah, I'd say...
I've got 4 stun grenades.
I'd say, grenades are might get us, whereas a stun gun will get a specific person, right?
May or may not affect him.
Stun gun?
Blaster setting on my first stun 6, so it's not... May not incapacitate him quickly.
What range does a stun grenade have?
As far as I can throw it, or as fast as I can get close to him to pull it.
Well, could tranquilise his food.
No, I mean, that's a point. Why don't we put something in the food to make him sleepy? Or drink. Cider, he has a particular liking for cider.
Problem is you don't have any.
We don't.
But we're going to get some cider to deliver to him.
No.
We don't have anything to drug him.
None of us are poison specialists.
No. We are at a place right now where they are a farm. Maybe they have animals that they sometimes need to tranquilize.
It's an orchard farm, though.
They
the
might still have
tranquilizers are different.
animals. They might have cows and things like that. They do cheese. They might have cows and things like that. And sometimes you need to tranquilize them to like help them have babies and all that other stuff. So yeah, they might have some old tranquilizer there. They might have horses or something to get around the property.
Yeah, but a lot of that is via injection, not ingestion.
But you can still ingest it. You can ingest ketamine easy. Don't ask me how I know that.
Yeah.
A lot of drugs don't work as efficiently if you ingest it because your body will burn away some of it as it processes it. You just give it a
Except
bigger
for
dose.
ketamine.
But there's also a lot you can taste it unless it's been designed
Ketamine
properly.
you can't taste. So if we're looking at the equivalent of ketamine, you just have to double the dosage for an oral thing. So you put in 100 milligrams when you want 50, and that'll have the same effect as 50, and it has no taste. You can put it into alcohol.
Well, if you'd like, you can think about this between sessions.
Okay.
And we can end it on this point here of how you're going to do this, and we'll spend next session figuring out how you get onto the property.
Yeah. The other thing is, if this guy is as paranoid, he'll probably be eating it alone in his locked area. So he falls asleep. We still won't be able to get access to it,
Yeah.
and we don't know when he falls asleep.
We could just get some animal tranquilizer and jabbing him in the arm as we're handing over the box.
But the problem is getting him outside the house still.
Well, as you said, use the boot camp as
Yeah.
the lure.
Well, I've got slicer gear.
I've got work at 6:30.
We'll see you.
See you later.
Okay, so
Have fun.
So,
I got slicer gear which I could actually bypass his lock.
I think if we can lure him out for the food delivery with the boot camp thing, and then two of us if we can get hold of a tranquilizer, or we stun him. Anyway, as Martin said, we'll consider it over the next fortnight, and hopefully come up with a plan.
how big of an area is Blast 8?
last 8 is basically everyone
Right, tiny
engaged
writing
takes
like I
8
do.
damage.
Want to get to the end of the
The
page.
value is how much damage they take in the engaged range. And if you're talking a vehicle blast state, then it increases it into everything in short.
I'm sorry I'm so loud today.
It's okay.
Really
So
burning.
the value for blast is not the radius, but the amount of damage you give.
Okay. And disorient you do you need to, is that activated straight away, or do you need to activate?
I'd have to have a look at it, but I might need 2 advantages. Okay, so
Yeah, it just whatever it is needs advantages to activate, or a triumph or something.
So we're going to finish it up there for tonight, Dee. Thank you for
Yeah.
making it tonight.
No problem.
And you actually managed to achieve your second bounty.
Yes, we did.
I
I know how.
What was
Or
that?
do we get to know that tomorrow? Next time.
What's this do you get to know next time?
XP.
We don't get XP.
You
in
don't
this
get
game.
XP just yet. They will
Okay.
get XP,
Oh,
but
okay.
not yet.
Don't we get it like at the end of like the 10 missions?
No, at the end of a story segment. You
Yeah.
still haven't finished the story segment.
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
Okay.
And the thing is, you haven't given up. You can't get one until you've got your chosen motivation either.
Yeah.
So that will probably be at the end of next session. Okay, so I will put it
we
on,
know your motivation is food.
put it on end session,
That's
and
relevant at the moment.
we will chat more later.
Okay.
Oh, he wants someone to play with you.
Bye bye.
Woo!